in the final seconds. Joining me for tonight's game, Steve Christie. And Steve, really, in the last 5 years, no love lost between these two teams. It turned into maybe the best rivalry in the state.
Well, sure, Dennis. You know, talk about rivalries. This is one of the better ones. The first game they played, actually, Bunnell stopped at the hand 1 yard line, right on the goal line to end that game. So that was just a great place to start a rivalry, wouldn't you say? At the home team has won all these. Every time they played at home, they've won. They've been victorious. Hand is yet to win here in Stratford, so it's a big test for the first-year coach at Hand. He'd like to win here at Bunnell.
Well, if you like a wide-open passing game, you're in luck. Then again, if you like the grinded-out wishbone attack, you're in luck, too. These two teams are going to provide a very distinct study and contrast of the offensive styles.
Well, they certainly will. For the Bunnell Bulldogs, Coach Bob Mastrone's team has really perfected the wishbone offense. The other side of the ball, you're going to see Hand throwing the ball. Justin Spain, 6'3", 200 pounds. Just a great specimen as a quarterback, and he's got a tremendous receiver in Mike Munn. Just to give you an idea how much he likes Munn, he's thrown for 300 yards this year. Out of those 300 yards, Munn has accounted for 200 of them. So it's safe to say that Mike Munt is Justin Spain's primary receiver tonight.
And it's also safe to say, Steve, that not only will this be a great ball game, but if you want to see Bunnell pass the ball, you're going to have to wait for another year. We talked to Bob Mastrone before the game, and he said, if we have to throw the ball, we're in trouble.
Well, the best defense is Bunnell's offense. They're going to try to kill the clock, ball control offense. They hope they don't have to throw all night, Dennis.
Well, when we come back, the opening kickoff, Bunnell and Hand, right here at Bunnell Bulldog Field in Stratford. We'll be right back.
So if you're on a low cholesterol diet or a low fat diet, you'll just love what I'm going to do here today.
This Wednesday morning at 11:30 on Channel 12.
We made this in just...
Our high school football game of the week this week, as you see there, featuring the very successful Madison High Hand Tigers program against the Bunnell Bulldogs of Stratford, two of the really premier programs in high school football. In fact, over the last 15 years, Hand is the third winningest team in the state, Bunnell the 15th winningest team. And they both happen to play in the Coastal Football Conference, and they both generally put on quite a show when they get together.
And let me back that up, Dennis, with a couple of records. 68 wins, 14 losses, and 2 ties for Hand during that time. And for Bunnell, how about 56, 26, and 1?
Well, there you see the officials, and right now we're getting ready for the playing of our national anthem. The officials for this ball game, your referee, Lou Saccone, the back judge, Frank Cicero. We've seen Frank on a number of games over the years. The linesman tonight, Bill Dennis, and the umpire, Ralph Astonia. And right now, the captains are going to meet. I guess they've already had the coin toss. We missed that, but we can tell you that tonight's ball game is being sponsored by NRS Karting Company in Norwalk. It's just a drop in the bucket. Now, while we're here, we should point out that we are playing at Bunnell Bulldog Field, and the atmosphere here, week in and week out, unlike a lot of other schools in the last few years, this is one program where it's really supported by the student body, and they treat it like a little college football game. They sell the memorabilia here. They have the best food, I think, anywhere in southwestern Connecticut, and they really treat it with all the pomp and circumstance normally accorded to college football games. Really quite a place to play football.
Well, they've also enhanced that atmosphere by what you folks don't see is temporary lights being installed here at Bulldog Field. Just a little background on the lights. They rent them from a company in New Jersey, and they pay $2,000 a night to get these lights instilled here and installed, as a matter of saying. And it's a real nice atmosphere. They've got night football, nothing like night football. It's becoming really the norm in high schools now. It draws more people. Athletic director, speaking of athletic director Dave Johnson, who, by the way, does a tremendous job here for Bunnell, he says that he can sometimes expect 2-to-1 in attendance from a night game to a day game. So when usually they can expect 1,000 people, he expects maybe 2,000 people here this evening. And, you know, the lights bring out the stars, they say, right? Well, they also bring out the fans.
And a tribute to Bunnell High is that whether they played at 2 o'clock in the morning or 6 a.m., the fans would be here. They're always here to support their Bulldogs, and that is really a tribute to this whole program and to the student body, the parents, everyone involved, and not the least of which is that guy right there, Bob Mastroni, in his 12th year with the Bulldogs, served for 11 years under Earl Avery at Fairfield Prep. Not a bad teacher there either. But he's done a heck of a job. As we mentioned, the 15th winningest program in the state in this decade of the 80s.
Well, Bob Mastroni certainly has done a great job here. As you mentioned, his 11th year here at Bunnell. And Mastroni has implemented that wishbone offense, and he's just perfected it. I mean, you can just, we talk about systems. We talk about the system at Greenwich High quite often. Well, I'll tell you what, Bunnell has got themselves a tremendous system here. And the uniforms change, the names change, but the results maintain just tremendous consistency over here. They win 7, 8, 9 games a year, and this year they're off to a nice start, 2-0.
Well, the Hand Tigers winning the opening coin toss. They've elected to receive, and that's what's going to happen here as the Bunnell Bulldogs tee it up and get ready to get this thing started. Kicking off, John Baroni, number 86 for Bunnell. Back to receive will be Mike Munt and Ned Lynch. Munt, number 87, certainly a guy to watch today, as is Ned Lynch, number 22. And it's going to be Lynch at his own 10-yard line. The coverage not down there in a hurry, but Lynch, nevertheless, only able to get out to the 25-yard line, and that's where the Tigers are going to set up shop. At quarterback, it's Spain. Backing him up, Milliard and Clausen on offense in the backfield. And the receivers, again, the guy to watch is Munt. Reardon and Fernstrom also will be thrown to on occasion, but Munt is by far their primary receiver. And along the front, Cushing, Risley, Devine, Williams, and McKinnery. Here comes Daniel Hand High School on 1st and 10 from their own 25-yard line. And quickly they pitch the ball out to Peter Milliard. And not much room for Milliard there. He may have picked up 3 or 4 tough yards. Defensively for Bunnell, Stanko, Gibbons, Reichenbach, and the Timber. Following, backing them up, Stewart and DiLorenzo at the linebackers. And in the defensive secondary, Damone, Bolinki, Mayor Nietzschek, Kovalik, and Six. Second down, call it 8, and here comes Hans to Monk. And Munt has got himself a first down across the 40 to the 42-yard line, and right away, Justin Spain showing what the Tigers have in mind tonight.
Well, that's a very simple pattern right there. That's just an out, a little quick out. He found the open spot in the secondary, and he certainly did exploit it. Mike Munt, hey, he came into this game with 15 receptions, nearly 200 yards. Watch this. Munt's going to come into your picture with the ball right here in the flat. He's wide open. That's just a nice game with not much coverage.
20-yard pickup, and the ball is loose and is fallen on by Hand and recovered back at the 39-yard line. So about an 8-yard loss on the play. Couldn't see who covered it.
Spain actually covered it.
Was it Spain?
Yeah. You know, that'll kill you. That's a play that'll kill you. You just start out there with a nice little pass out to Munt, which picked up an easy double-digit in yards, and now you put yourself in a hole. I mean, they lost 10 yards on that fumble right there, and you just can't come back from that. Now you're looking at 2nd and 20, and the defense knows you're going to throw here.
Not much of a difference, but it is, in fact, 2nd and 17. Either way, after a 20-yard gainer to Munt, that definitely hurts. Spain, a big kid, he's rolling out and will let it go. And is it complete out at the 50-yard line? He was looking for Munt again.
Got him.
And he got him. Complete to the 50, but shy of a first down by about 2 yards.
And right away you see what a tremendous receiver Mike Munt is. Now, what Munt does in the secondary is he finds that open seam. The quarterback, Spain, is right in clue with him. Now, Spain's rolling. He loses sight of Munt here. Now he picks him up. Meanwhile, Munt has found the open seam in the secondary, and he stands there for the completion.
From the eye, it's hand on 3rd and 2. They go to the first man through and get the first down inside the Bunnell 45 to the 44. And it looked like it was Peter Milliard on the carry for the first. He was stopped on the play by Rich Six, number 31.
That's what you call it, just a quick hitter. Millard going up the middle for the easy gain. Situation like that, what you're trying to do is just extend the defense. Millard had the open gap right there, exploited it, and got the first down. Nice first down pickup by the hand offense, especially faced with that 2nd and 17.
One of the things Coach Mastroni was worried about was the running game. This is Milliard. Upset at the 35. The ball is loose. And it looked like it may have been recovered by Bunnell, and it was. On the recovery.
They're calling him down. They're calling him down. That is not a fumble, and I'm very surprised at that call.
Ron Ogradowicz looked to have covered that fumble.
Well, they called him down, and, you know, if the ball, this might have been a good call. Watch this. Yeah, the ball causes the fumble, and that's a good call. Referee right on the spot makes a nice call.
Great hit on the play by Tom Fiorella to jar Milliard and almost get that fumble. But instead, it's 2nd down and only a yard for the Tigers. Inside trap play, good for about 3 yards, and another first down for the Tigers. And they are just grinding it out now on the ground and in the air. On the carry that time, Chris Clausen.
Boy, I tell you what, Hand is doing just what they'd like to here on the opening drive. Again, a quick hitter up the middle. Right there, the fullback is just trying to get a quick jump out of the backfield. The hole is there for a split second. He's seeing it. He's getting there. That's what you call firing out from the fullback position.
This time on the draw, it's Milliard. And he is inside the 25 to the 24-yard line. And they are picking up big chunks at a crack.
Well, again, you start running like this, that makes the pass that much more dangerous. So, you know, they're doing everything right here. If you're talking to the Hand coaching staff before the game, they're certainly going to tell you, look, we'd like to run the ball. And so far they've done that, because what this does, it opens up the passing game. Oh, this is very interesting. The center actually broke from the huddle and went to the line of scrimmage, and Spain went back. And I don't know what he told me. He might have said, hey, look, guy, I forgot to tell you the snap count.
Center is Jim Devine, number 79. He's one of the captains for this Tiger team. On the outside run, Ned Lynch looks to go left side and picks up 2 yards, maybe 3, before he's brought down by John Baroni of the Bulldogs.
Outstanding play by John Baroni, the end, the defensive end. Baroni played contain right there, got a little bit of the ankles of the ball carrier, and got him down. Had he not got him down right there, ball carrier could be doing a little celebration in the end zone. Nice play that time by Baroni.
Just a 1-yard pickup for Lynch. It's going to bring up 3rd down and 2. And don't forget, Justin Spain will throw at any time. That time he may have been looking to, but slipped on that somewhat wet surface and is sacked for a 5-yard loss.
Boy, first-year head coach Steve Filippone has got to be very, very upset with that play. The second time on this series that they've had a problem with the snap. You have got to give your offensive team a chance to execute that play. A bad snap will not allow that to happen.
That may have been one of the problems, Steve, and I think also the footing. You and I were on the field before the game. It is a little slick still, even though we haven't had rain for probably about 24 hours. So here comes Spain. He's got some daylight if he elects to keep it. He does, and he's got himself a first down inside the 15-yard line and looks to be close to the 10.
And again, you're looking at what happens with a guy 6'4", 200 pounds turns the corner. You're not going to be taken down by a 5'9" defensive back. Spain took him on, met the challenge, and got the first down. Justin Spain with a big first down.
And a very concerned Bunnell coaching staff on the near sidelines. As the Tigers have got the ball 1st and 10 inside the 15, call it the 13-yard line. In fact, Linstow upended at the line of scrimmage and falls forward for just a 1-yard gain. On the tackle, Derek Fatabine, number 37.
And for a coaching staff, an offensive coaching staff that is for hand right now, you're very concerned with this particular series of plays. Anytime you're inside that 20-yard line, the defense sucks it up a little bit, gets a little closer to the line. The defensive backs don't have to worry about getting burned deep. And now is when these yards become awful tough.
2nd and 9 for the Tigers. And they go with Peter Milliard off left tackle, and a 2-yard pickup for Milliard, and another passing situation for the Tigers on 3rd and 7 coming up.
Well, two times we've seen Hand in a passing situation, a 3rd down situation, and 3rd and long. Let's call this one 3rd and 7. Great chance you're going to see Spain roll right here with the option to throw. If he doesn't see that option, and primarily that's Munt, you can see Spain turn it up. Keep your eyes on Munt. Keep your eyes on a roll right to the wide side.
He has shown a preference to go that way, and again, he does. Quick hitting play to Munt, right side, very close to a 1st down, and an excellent defensive effort. We'll try to spot it for you. Looked like it may have been Rich Six to keep him from getting to that 1st down marker.
Well, I'd say that's very close, Dennis, and I think he just may have got that 1st down, but that's yet to be determined. Again, watch him here. He's going to roll right. Munt's going to flare out, and that's going to be a very close call. I think Munt got it.
His feet were beyond it, but his shoulders went out of bounds before it, so it's going to be a weird spot
He's got it.
for the officials. And they are moving the chains, so it's a 1st down again for the Tigers. This drive started way back at their own 20-yard line. And they have just marched the ball right down the throats of the Bulldog defense. On 1st down from the 9-yard line, looked like Milliard, your ball carrier.
Oh, that was a quarterback sneak that time.
And it was.
Justin Spain goes right up the gut. See, a lot of times what will happen there offensively is Spain will get to the line of scrimmage and see a gap in the center of the line. He may tap the center on each side and say, we're going this way, just put a hand signal and go right up the middle. So that time Spain just tried to sneak it over.
Ball appears to be just outside the 5-yard line. We'll call it the 6. 2nd down and goal to go for the Tigers. This time it is Milliard, and he's in. Touchdown, but a flag on the play.
And that's going to be a holding. That's where you see holding, right in that spot, and that will be a major call.
And your running back, by the way, was in fact Chris Clausen, number 34, the 5'11", 187-pound junior.
Check that. That's not going to be a holding. Looks like the touchdown will stand. Hand is celebrating. So that may have been some kind of defense. You know, that's interesting. You will very rarely will you see a face mask penalty in the middle of a scramble, whatever you want to call it.
That deep in the red zone, especially where everything's packed so tight.
I mean, how many times you see a defensive guy in that spot where that flag was thrown get called for face mask, but that's what you got. This may also change the call right here, Dennis, because usually you're going to go for the 1, right? Well, now if you're going to get half the distance, you may end up getting a shorter shot at getting 2.
It's official. They have put the points on the board. Clausen for 6, and the Tigers are going for 2. Munt looking and complete. No, incomplete. Dropped in the end zone. It was Justin Spain looking for Munt. Who else in the end zone on the 2-point try? It's incomplete. It'll stay. Hand 6. Bunnell nothing here in the 1st quarter.
You've boxed it up, you've packed it up, you've piled it up. Now, what do you do with it? NRS has the solution. Containers for any size cleanup job, big, medium, or small. NRS knows cleanup jobs are no fun. When you're cleaning out the house, you're cleaning up the office, or for industrial cleanups. NRS can make that job easier. The next time you have a cleanup job, call NRS and have fun at our disposal.
Well, here we're going to see the touchdown. It's just a quick hitter again. Millard up the middle with some fine running inside for the touchdown. Was that Clausen, number 34? Okay, you got it. Chris Clausen, fullback, just a junior, and boy, he got a great jump out of the backfield. And again, that hole is not there forever. You got to hit it and hit it quick, and you're not going to get much time. Clausen used his time wisely.
And if you're Coach Bob Mastroni, what really concerns you is the way they scored. Wasn't a freak play or one big play. They marched the ball through the air, on the ground, outside, inside, right down the field, 80 yards for a touchdown.
How about 5 first downs on that drive? I mean, that's mighty impressive. And they did it, as you said, Dennis, both ways. Great mixture there on offense. Hand is tough.
And now the kickoff is away. And it'll be taken by Vin Kovalek, deep in his own end. And he'll get out to the 26-yard line, maybe the 27. Your quarterback for Bunnell, number 14, Keith Lombardo, McCullough, Kovalek, and Mayer Nichek in the backfield. And the receivers, Baroni and Stanko. And the guys doing the blocking for those people, Reichenbach, Pucko, Krasnaski, Coganello, and DiLorenzo.
Well, it does not get easy when you get from here to Bunnell, right? I mean, we've got to have a fullback named Mayer Nichek.
And we had Wojnakowski a few years ago, didn't we?
Oh, we sure did.
From the 26-yard line, 1st and 10 Bulldogs. And this is what they look to do all night long. And if they're going to be successful, they're going to have to do it. The wishbone offense, pickup of 2 on 1st down. The defense, Cushing, Phillip, Killingsley, and Devine. The linebackers, Fernstrom, Reardon, and Risley. And in the defensive secondary, Justin Spain turns things around, goes the other way. Tardoff, Parcells, and Munt joining him in the secondary.
Well, Hand knows what the mission is here. Bunnell also has one itself. That is to run the ball and grind up that clock and keep the ball out of the hands of Hand.
Both teams going with junior quarterbacks. And on their first series, didn't seem to bother Hand very much. Let's see how Bunnell's Keith Lombardo fares here on their first possession. Again, another running play. A pickup of about 3 more. It'll bring up 3rd down and 5. Mike Munn on the tackle. And I'm having a whole lot of difficulty spotting the ball carriers here. It is very dark. The temporary lighting, not exactly Super Bowl quality. And it's tough with those dark blue uniforms. I am having a nightmare of a time trying to figure out who the ball carrier was.
Oh, better you than me. I'm very glad I'm the color analyst, Dennis, because it is going to be a very difficult chore to call out the carriers.
On 3rd down, I do know this. Lombardo is dropped for a loss. And it was not Lombardo, in fact. I don't even know that. It was Mayer Nichek. And he has lost about 5 yards. He's going to bring up 4th down, and the Bulldogs are going to have to punt it away. Again, Mike Munt in there on the tackle.
Well, don't think that right now at this time, Coach Bob Mastroni is very concerned, because in talking to him before the game, he was concerned. He knows that this is a very talented Hand squad, and they're very explosive as they showed on that first drive. He wants to stay in this game and stay competitive. Hand has a chance to really get dangerous right here on this possession.
But all Bulldogs at 2-0. Hand's Tigers at 2-1 coming in. That punt's going to drop at the 44 and be covered at the 46-yard line. And here come the Tigers, fresh off an 80-yard march with another crack at it.
Well, Bunnell got a little bit of a break there. There was some motion on the line, but it would have been declined because this is tremendous field position for Hand. Again, Hand is at the side of the field. On 1st and 2nd down, they've run the ball really here this evening. They may decide to change things up and throw. They've got the defense in tight trying to stop that quick hitter. Remember the quick hitter that got the touchdown, the last play that they had used. Maybe we'll see Hand go up top here. If they do, they're going to be dangerous.
By the way, the punter for Bunnell, John Baroni, and it was not a bad punt. On 1st down, Peter Miller gets the call and gets a couple, Millard rather.
And not a good punt.
Not a good punt.
No, he got maybe.
What did I say?
Not a bad punt.
No, it was not a good punt.
No. I mean, this guy got about 20 net yards on that, and you need a little bit more, but it was not a favorable bounce. Had he got a favorable bounce, he got good hang time. See, with these lights, and that's something to look at, if you punt the ball over the lights, the guy loses track of the ball. So if you get a favorable roll, you're in good shape.
Millard lost a yard on 1st down, bring up 2nd 11, and again, Spain looking to throw. That time, almost intercepted. Looking to have the best shot at it was number 31, Rich Six. And Six early on in this ball game playing a good game defensively for Bunnell. And that ball was almost his.
Oh, it's funny. I think Spain is really he has more of a problem when he drops back straight in the pocket because he has a little trouble reading defenses. It happened against Stratford High. He threw 4 interceptions against Stratford because of the multiple defenses that Stratford will throw. This evening, that's just their first incompletion, but that was really the first time he stepped back in the pocket. Here's where he's dangerous when he rolls.
He's looking for Munt again. This time it's complete. And across the 40 to the 39-yard line of Bunnell goes Mike Munt. And he is putting on a clinic here early.
Well, it's nothing fancy right here by Mike Munt. Again, Munt, their leading receiver. And, you know, this is just great team play right here. here. Munt gets into the zone. You've got 3 guys around him. You know, as a quarterback, you only have 1, maybe 2 options. Right now, it's clear that Munt is the first option for Justin Spain.
Spain came into the game just 25 of 60 on the year. But he looks like he's much better than that right now. Clausen could have his second touchdown. He's down inside the 5 to the 4-yard line. Chris Clausen for the Tigers rips off a big one.
Well, again, we're going to look at the play that produced the first touchdown, very nearly produced the second one. Again, just a quick hit up the middle. Clausen, look at this great running here. He cuts against the grain. He keeps his legs pumping. And Chris Clausen down to the 5-yard line, or is it inside the 5?
It's right around there. It's just outside the 5, as a matter of fact. Appears to be the 6-yard line now is where they've spotted it. Justin Stanko, the guy who saved the touchdown for Bunnell. Let's see if it was only academic. First down goal to go from the 6 for the Tigers. Ned Lynch on the dive play right side gets about 2 yards.
I'll tell you what Bunnell needs right here. They need a turnover. Right here is a critical situation. Because when you look at this Bunnell team, they are not a comeback team. And you can bet your bottom dollar that Coach Mastroni is thinking that right now. He's saying, look, we do not and cannot afford to get behind to this hand team. Because right now we're in a situation where we may not be able to come back. This Bunnell team is not a real comeback team with that wishbone offense. We've got an injury down in the field, number 53 for Bunnell.
Bob DiLorenzo, the injured Bulldog. And he was hurt on that last play, the run by Ned Lynch, which went that direction to the right side.
And also, that is not good news for Bunnell because they're not very deep. You know, Coach has expressed a little concern about the depth and the inexperience. And when a starter goes down, that's just double trouble.
As we mentioned, Bunnell, the 15th winningest team in the 80s. Number 3 would be the Hand Tigers. We're going to be right back as they tend to the injured player. Our score is 6-0 in favor of Hand. We're in the first quarter.
NRS, I need a solution.
Just a fax, ma'am.
I know NRS has more trucks in more places than any other company.
That's right, ma'am.
And you have radio dispatch trucks to give same-day service. And you've been in business long enough to know which container is right for which job. And your motto is just a drop in the bucket.
Well, yes.
Also, NRS has cleanup containers for everyone's needs. Small or large jobs or very large for whatever.
Yes.
I need a container today, now.
Only if you tell me one thing.
What?
Your address, ma'am. NRS. We have the solution.
Yeah, we're glad to report that Bob DiLorenzo just came off the field under his own power. There you see the numbers in favor of the Hand Tigers with just 17 seconds and counting to go in this first quarter. Justin Spain, 4 of 5 for 50 yards so far. All those to Mike Munt. Here's Spain rolling out with it on the keeper. He is not into the end zone. Barely back to the 5-yard line as he picks up a yard. Maybe 2. This could be third down and goal to go from the 4. On the tackle, Lou Pucko, number 72.
And already we've got a big, big play coming up in this game. We're going to have to wait to the second quarter, though, because it's going to be third and goal from about the 3. And this is big right here early in the game.
Sure is. That's going to do it for one. It's 6-0 Hand.
So if you're on a low cholesterol diet or a low-fat diet, you'll just love what I'm going to do here today.
This Wednesday morning at 11:30 on Channel 12.
Made this in just 8 minutes.
See what cooking under pressure can do for you.
Chicken and drop it right into the bottom of the pan. And
Learn to cook fast, healthy dishes using the latest in pressure cookers.
just press on the top.
Wednesday morning at 11:30 on Channel 12. The Complete Kitchen of Darien, Greenwich, and Wilton present Pressure Cooking with Michael Land.
So bon appetit.
You know what, sweetheart? I am starving.
Well, let's call Speedy Man.
Danbury High is showing signs of greatness.
What's this? Speedy Man has just landed in the backfield.
Well, Jim, Speedy Man has won some tough battles in the past, but this time I think he bit off a little more pizza than he can chew.
Look at him go. I don't know how he does it.
Well, for starters, he uses 100% mozzarella cheese, pressed dough, and all natural ingredients.
Look at this. He's knocking the competition dead.
Touchdown, Speedy Man!
Well, one stat that just jumps out at you, besides the 6-0 score, is the total offensive statistics in one quarter. For Bunnell, 4 total yards of offense. Hand had 75, and they've got it. Third down and goal to go from the 3.
Again, look for the quarterback to roll right here and look for Munt in the end zone.
Justin Spain from the eye. He is rolling and looking for Munt. He's under some pressure, gets it away from Munt, complete in the end zone, and it's a touchdown, Bunnell.
Oh, what
That play was not designed to Munt, but he came up with it anyway. It looked like the intended receiver, Steve, actually was number 30, Jason Fernstrom.
Well, don't think that was intended for Munt. I understand what you're saying. What Munt did that time was Munt ran a short post pattern where you don't have much to go on that short post. He broke it off. He came back towards the quarterback, Justin Spain. Right, and Spain saw him.
And that was the identical play that San Francisco beat Dallas on in the NFC Championship game a number of years ago.
Well, we're going back to my man Dwight Clark, right?
Dwight Clark.
Again,
that was the exact play where Clark comes back along the back of the end zone, really just as a safety valve. And that time, Munt was not only a safety valve, but the recipient of a touchdown pass. Again, Hand looks for two, and again, they come up short as Clausen unable to reach the end zone. It's going to stay 12-0 in favor of Hand. Rich 6 on the tackle for Bunnell.
And what a great catch by Mike Munt last play. I mean, he just made a tremendous play. Roaming around in that end zone. As a receiver, what you're doing is if your initial pattern is not there, you break it off, and it's called a drag. You just drag with the quarterback to where he is, because you do not want the quarterback having to throw against the field and to the wide side of the field. So what Munt does that time is he breaks off his little pattern. I think he just had a little down and in pattern. He broke it off. He came back to the sideline, and he made a tremendous reception that time. Hey, who do you think Justin Spain calls when he's in trouble?
Oh, you know it. He dials 87.
He sure does, and the man who's picking up that phone is Mike Munt. He's been his primary receiver all year long. It's no secret, and it's no secret to the Bunnell coaching staff. They know that they have to stop Munt. Coach Mastroni says in the beginning of the game, we have got to stop 87. He's tremendous.
John Baroni actually had put some serious pressure on Justin Spain on the play, but just couldn't quite catch up to the big 6'4" quarterback.
Well, this is true, and
Munt did a good job, Steve, of buying himself some extra time waiting for Munt or somebody to free themselves.
He sure did. Spain did an excellent job doing that, because on the roll he had to elude a couple of would-be tacklers. And for Bunnell, you're going to kick yourself. You're going to look at the film and say, we have got to get him right there.
Kevin Flanagan kicks it away for Hand, and it's taken at the 10-yard line.
That's Munt.
Was it Munt on the tackle? The ball carrier was John Mayer-Nietzschek, and he was just drilled at the 20-yard line.
You know, it's funny, talking to Hand coach Steve Filippone before the game. Steve said that, you know, you look at Munt, and what's keeping him from being a Division I player may be foot speed. And I looked at him, I said, you know, tell that to Steve Largent, and he laughed, and he knew where I was coming from. But look at the way Munt makes plays on special teams. If you're a college scout and you're looking at this kid, that is a play that will stick out just as much as the pass reception. Believe you me.
Well, Keith Lombardo at quarterback for Bunnell under tremendous pressure right off the bat, as Mayer-Nietzschek carries for a pickup of maybe 2 yards. And this is a Bunnell team not used to being shut down a little bit. They've outscored their opponents 62-18 in just 2 games so far this year, whipping up on the Guilford Indians 35-11 in week 1, and then came back against Law in week 2 to win 27-7. So they can put some points on the board, and they're going to need to do that right now and soon. Second down and 9. Lombardi's going to keep it himself. He's across the 25 to the 29-yard line. A nice pickup of about 5. And it's going to set up a 3rd and 3. On the tackle, Chris Parcells.
Well, Dennis, not many times you're going to see a must-make situation so early in the game. I believe this right here is a must-make first down. Bunnell has got to retain possession and keep the ball out of the hands of Hand, because right now the Tigers are on a roll, and if they get the ball back, they're going to score again. I mean, they are just feeling it offensively, and if you've ever played offense and you're clicking and you're rolling, you know the feeling. Right now, the Tigers have that feeling. The Bulldogs need a big first down right here. They have got to get this first down.
They got to do some blocking for Lombardo and Mayer-Nietzschek. Those are the guys that make the bone work. And right now, it's not working too well. It's going to be short of a first down by about a yard, setting up 4th and 1. On the tackle, Jason Fernstrom. And again, it's 3 downs and punt for the Bulldogs, exactly what they didn't want to have happen.
Oh, you certainly can't go for it here, and you know, Coach Mastroni just can't go for it because you can't give him the ball here. You got to, you really needed that first down. I mean, this could come back to really haunt you.
Your offense has got to do it on the first 3 tries. It shouldn't have to come down to that 4th one.
Oh yeah, you can't gamble here.
So Baroni's going to punt it away again, this time from his own 20-yard line. And it's going to be a low line drive bouncing at the Bunnell 47 and rolling just into hand territory at the 43. So excellent field position for the Tigers again.
Well, I mean, if Hand puts a score on right now, it could be a very long night. I mean, if Hand scores right here.
One thing about the wishbone, Steve, it's not a good come-from-behind offense.
Well, no, exactly. And Bunnell is not a good come-from-behind team. They are not a throwing team. They will, as far as their passing game will work best when their running game is working. And right now, that running game is doing nothing.
If you're going to run the wishbone, you really got to run it well because it's very predictable in that everyone knows you're going to run the ball. And right now, Hand is going to eat up a little time. On first down, they run the ball. And on the carry, it was Millard, tackled by Mark Stewart right at the line of scrimmage for maybe a half a yard to a yard pickup, and that's all.
And how can you dispute the play calling of Hand? But again, first down, they've yet to put the ball in the air, and there was a pretty good opportunity to get it in the air, but you can't have any arguments with this. 12-0, 8:50 to go here in the first half, and Hand having it all their own way.
We got an official's timeout as one of the Tigers ties his cleat at the 45-yard line. For Bunnell tonight, a team that missed a week. Last week they did not play, making every win, every game that much more important in terms of power rankings. This is not the way the Bulldogs wanted this night to get started. Certainly not at home, not ever, but certainly not here tonight at home. Munt again from Spain to the 40-yard line of Bunnell before Mayor Nietzschek can bring him down. And Hand is having everything its way.
Well, again, I watched Munt on that play specifically, and you almost knew he'd be getting the ball because that's a play that Hand's going to use until they stop it. Munt drove the defender 15 yards deep and came back another 3 and picked up about 12. And that is how you're going to, you'll beat a defense to death by doing that. But what's going to happen is the defender's going to come up and you just fly right by him.
Munt wide out to the left this time, and that's where they're going. That pass, though, well overthrown. The intended receiver was Chris Parcells, number 18, and the first time Justin Spain has looked for anybody outside of Mike Munt.
Again, you talk about primary receivers. Definition is Mike Munt. Because as a quarterback, you're not going to get many reads out there. You're going to get maybe one read, and you're going to hope your man's open. A lot of times with a 2 or 3 wide receiver set, you're going to have a couple of guys open. They're going to come back to the huddle and say, I was open. But as a quarterback, you don't have that much time to read.
What a luxury for Spain to have a guy like Munt to go to. This is Ned Lynch, who hasn't been too shabby tonight either. He picks up 5 yards to the 35. It'll be 3rd and 5.
And don't tell me who brought him down. I don't want to hear,
Bob DiLorenzo.
No, Bob DiLorenzo didn't take him down. I'll tell you who did. Brian Risley, the center. He just ran right up Risley's back. DiLorenzo may have had something to do with that. He may have been pushing Risley.
They don't usually credit the centers with tackles.
No, they don't, but it was, how many times you see the center actually stopping the running back? He was about, 5 yards downfield, and he made the tackle. So Gary Thompson, our spotter, I don't know, I kind of like that play by Risley.
Ball at 3rd and 6. Munt on the quick slant. Had it and lost it at the 30-yard line. You can hardly blame him. That's one of those passes receivers don't really want to have come their way. In traffic, over the middle, you're just primed for a major hit.
Well, in flag football or touch football, you don't mind it. But when you're playing tackle football, you're exactly right. You are wide open for that defensive back. And do you think the defensive back is a little upset right now?
Well, he thinks he might have had a clean shot at him. Didn't really get the chance. Munt, kind of a crafty guy. So he didn't have the ball and hit the turf. He just avoided getting crushed. On that play, you've got the corner coming at you, a linebacker coming at you, and the safety coming at you. And really, it is a dangerous play. And to punt it away for the first time today. And the kick from John Reardon sails inside the 10 to the 5. Mayor Nietzschek brings it out to the 19-yard line. And again, Bunnell is going to have to start deep in its own end and try to generate some offense down 12-0 here in the second quarter. On the tackle special team, Jason Bergstrom for the Tigers.
You see a shot of the crowd here, the Bunnell Bulldog faithful, and you got to like that play by Meyer Nichek because it's not really a great play. I mean, you don't, anytime the ball is fielded inside the 10-yard line as a coach, you cringe. But Meyer Nichek sees that this team needs a spark. He makes that play. He tries to get something out of it and got a pretty decent return. Got the ball out to the 20, almost broke it. They need a big play right now.
Defensively for Bunnell, the big play came on third down. They actually stopped Hand for the first time in this game, shy of a touchdown. Meyer Nichek gets the call, and he's across the 25. Well, call it right at the 25-yard line before he's brought down.
Well, that's the kind of carry you're looking for. A good 4 or 5 yards right there by Meyer Nichek. And what that does is hopefully opens up the outside game. The tailbacks for Bunnell have really not touched the ball much this evening. And, you know...
They've only had the ball for 6 plays.
Well, as an offense, you know, it's Meyer Nichek. But you've got it right now because you've got to establish that inside game. For this wishbone to work, that fullback has got to be a force.
Here's Lombardo on the keep. And he is ripped right at the line of scrimmage for no gain. Leading the way, number 18, Chris Parcells, for the Tigers.
Boy, what's been impressive for the Hand is that defense as well as the offense. Very good pursuing defense. You can see that on that play. That was really just a fake pitch, a fake dive right and option left. Well, they faked the dive right, didn't really bite too many defenders. The quarterback, Lombardo, came around and he was faced with just a whole bunch of white and gold.
3rd and 5. We may actually see Keith Lombardo throw it here for the first time today. It would seem like a good time to try it, and that's what he's going to do. Looking for a man at the 35-yard line, well underthrown. The intended receiver was John Baroni, number 86, and he had no shot at it.
And when you know it, Baroni slipped. He went out to break off that pattern, he went down. So can't really blame the quarterback, Keith Lombardo, right there. And you can't blame the receiver because Baroni can't do much about a slip.
No grass, really, up the very center of the field, end zone to end zone. And if you're going to run there, you better have pretty deep spikes because there's really nothing to bite onto except some mud. So again, Bunnell comes up short after just 3 cracks, and will punt it away. In there to punt now, number 21, Seth Stowers. Number 21, his brother Bob Stowers played here up until just last year, and he was a great fullback for the Bulldogs.
Oh, that kick works right there. Stowers' low line drive with some roll, and anytime you kick the ball across your body like that, you're going to get a favorable roll. He knocked it in front of the return man. For Hand, I always was under the belief as a coach or as a coaching staff, you want that ball fielded. Please cut that 10 or 15, 20-yard roll off. You know, you got good hands. You're back there because of your hands. Stop that ball from rolling. As much as people say it's dangerous, get away. I don't buy that theory.
Well, it was down at the 31, and here comes Hand on 1st and 10. And Munn actually dropped a pass that was well thrown, and you're not going to see that too often.
Well, Munn's got to come down with that, and he'll be the first one to tell you right there. Mike Munn, he'll look back on this game, and I know I would. You know, you can make yourself 10 or 15 catches, but you look back on the ones you miss, and you say to yourself, I got to have a ball like that. You know, that just makes it look that much better, and you just get that much more yards for your team, because that play right there is a play designed to bring more later in the game. You try to turn that one up. You got a cornerback biting, and right now Bunnell is just not biting on that play. And if you're Spain, you go to it all day long until they stop it.
Mike Munn with just 1 touchdown catch so far this season. This pass complete to the 42-yard line, and it was not Munn. It was number 80, John Reardon, who beat everybody for a huge pickup inside the 40 to the 39 of Bunnell.
Well, here's what he does right there. This is just a great play. Munn looks off him. The safety goes towards Munn. And there you see the receiver for Hand, number 80, John Reardon, one of the co-captains here for Hand. And he came down with a big reception. Had Spain led him, that was 6, and there'd be some celebration in the Hand end zone.
Reardon actually slid a couple of yards, and they bring it back to the 41, but the Tigers are going to take it again. Spain looking to throw. Back to Munn. He may be going for 6. Cuts it back. One man to beat. And he is brought down at the 5 by Baroni. John Baroni, the only guy that could have gotten the job done, and he does, but Hand looking to go up by 18.
Wow. I mean, you talk about a money man. How about Mike Munn? We'll say it again and again. Watch Spain coming right at you here. This will give you a great shot at it. Just a little, all this is right here is a slant. And Munn comes in, takes the pass, and almost takes it in. That's just what it is. He lines up outside. He probably hesitates a little bit so the linebackers will clear the zone. He comes in for that little slant pass, makes the reception, and it's clear sailing because the safeties are spread, the linebackers are spread, and you've got yourself an easy reception.
Sometimes being slippery is better than being fast, and Munt is a slippery one. Straight up the middle, Clausen. Is he in? Looks very close to a touchdown. Tough to tell with the dark lighting. He's apparently down just outside the goal line to the 1.
Boy, has that play worked all evening long? I mean, that's just a quick hit, very basic. You take that quick hit, you take that flare pass away from Munt, and, you know, we got a close game here. But those two plays are very, very big. They're working, and, you know, Coach Filippone, I mean, you're not going to change anything. He's calling a great game right now. Everything is working.
Clausen has already got 2 touchdowns. This time it's Munt. Touchdown, Hand, 18-6. And not Munt, in fact, but, of course, Justin Spain, your quarterback. I'm getting so used to saying Munt, I just expect him to have the ball every time.
I can understand that. I mean, it's Spain, Munt, right? Take your turn. This time, Spain takes his, goes over the top for the score, and we've got the makings of a blowout right here. A fear that Coach Bob Mastroni certainly had in his mind before this game started. I'll tell you that. He certainly, you know, we said to him, gee, Coach, I know we're going to have a good game. Hope we don't have a 35-6 game. He looked at us, and very sincerely, he said, I hope not either, because he thought it might. He knew it could happen. This team is explosive.
And they lead at 18-0. We're talking about a Hand team that beat up on East Lyme 47-12 in week 1 of this season. Hand determined to get the 2-point conversion. And this time they do.
Might not count.
The 3rd time the charm, but there's a flag on the play.
We might have holding. We got holding on Hand, so they better come on back. Everybody's running down to kick off. This play's coming back. We're going to have a hold. Going to push them back 15, so it's going to be an 18-yard try. We're going to take another look at the touchdown and watch here's just a sneak over the top, caught the tail, and look at the line surge there by the offensive line. Anytime, when a quarterback sneak is over, that was a good shot right there, because when a quarterback sneak is over with, you look to see the jerseys across the goal line, the offensive linemen, and see what kind of surge they're getting. That time we saw the surge of the offensive line, and they really produced that touchdown. So when you're going to credit people, how about crediting Brian Risley, the center, 5'8", 162 pounds. That time Mr. Spain rode Mr. Risley right into the end zone.
10-yard holding penalty brings it all the way out to the 12. And now Hand calls timeout, leading it 18-0.
Well, what's he saying right now? I'll tell you, I'm in this conversation, okay? Coach Steve Filippone is saying, okay, Justin, here's what we're going to do. We're going to fake a little, we're going to do a little roll right side. We're going to look for our man there, number 87, Mike Munn, who's probably going to be running an out, deep out in the end zone. So let's see if we'll get a piece of that.
When we come back, we'll see what they do. Our score, 18-0 in favor of Hand.
I don't know where it comes from, you know, as long as it keeps coming, right? How old are you?
Levi's Jeans, available at Bob's Sports in New Canaan.
18-0, Hand leading Bunnell. A little bit of a surprise. As we mentioned, over the last 5 years, these two teams have gone down to the wire every single time. Right now, though, Hand on the verge of blowing this thing sky high. They're up 18-0, and they're determined to get a 2-point conversion before this thing's over.
And Munt's got single coverage on the right side. They're going to just lob it up to him.
He's there. The pass was there, but an excellent defensive effort as the ball was batted away in the corner of the end zone. Was it John Barone? Let's check on it. May have been Mayor Nietzschek, number 30. Again, it is so hard to tell. It was Mayor Nietzschek with the defensive coverage, and that's confidence on Bob Mastroni's part to send him one-on-one with Munt.
Good call. You're right. I mean, you know, confidence, yeah, Mayor Nietzschek does a great job. But again, watch this play. He's just going to go back and some nice touch on the ball. You got one-on-one coverage. And, you know, if you're the receiver right there, you like that. Mike Munt's got one-on-one coverage with some advantage as far as height goes. Just couldn't pull it down. Nice pass, though.
A nice pass. Not at all the kind of a pass you'd expect from a junior quarterback who's seeing only his 4th game of varsity experience at the position. He's a former receiver.
That's right. And Coach Filippone, of course, a 10-year assistant coach. And what that allows you to do is see some young talent nurture. And I'm sure he had his eye on Spain. I mean, you know, as a coach, you have your eye on guys who could play multiple positions.
By the way, on that replay, Steve, our viewers at home could really see how dark it is out there. Our camera right on top of that corner of the end zone, and you could barely see. Bunnell, with the temporary lighting here, a positive step, definitely a step in the right direction as far as everyone's concerned. Night football really has become the fashion in high school football. We're not knocking the lights. I think it's great that they have them here. We're just simply trying to explain that it does make for a difficult game from the press box vantage point. Bunnell now down 18-0 and still on his feet. Number 47, Ben Kovalek. He gets it all the way out across midfield to the Bunnell 49-yard line.
And that's a tremendous return, but Jim Devine, what a play by number 79, Captain Jim Devine, co-captain Devine. Watch 79, yeah, this is a great return. It's set up because what happens is the ball returner, actually, who do we got there?
47, Ben Kovalek.
Watch Kovalek go. Now watch 79 fight through these blocks. See him come backside? If he doesn't come through those blocks backside, that's a score.
So 1st and 10 for the Dogs. They've got some excellent field position, and Lombardo on 1st down looking deep. And just barely out of the reach of his receiver at the 10-yard line. That's a heck of a throw, about 50 yards in the air, and almost complete. And we'll try to check on the receiver for you. Very hard to tell from here.
Oh, that was really a nice throw. There you see Lombardo, who throws a real nice pass out there.
John Baroni.
John Baroni trying to get underneath it. You need a Willie Galt speed to get that one, though. But, boy, a fine touch displayed by quarterback Lombardo. And a good call. 1st down play-action pass.
That wasn't a whole lot of touch, Steve. I think he just kind of let it go.
Well,
and he really unloaded it.
He had some air underneath it, though.
He sure did. On 2nd down, they go back to the traditional bone attack. And a pickup of about 5 yards for Enrique McCalla.
See, what's good about that play-action pass is that it gets the defense thinking a little bit. Now at least they have to think pass. See, you want that right now. In the first couple of series, the defense was thinking run, and rightfully so, because Bunnell is not, they won't make no bounds about it. They're going to try to run.
And not only did they throw it, but they came darn near to completing a 50-yard pass.
And you can also get an interference call. A lot of things can happen on a play like that.
Bob Mastroni has been incredibly successful here at Bunnell, and it's because he can adjust. This is Baroni complete and out of bounds at the 31-yard line. And so much for the bone, they may have junked it for the time being.
Well, they sure may have, and
let's say they buried the bone.
I think they may have. They may come back to it only if they can get close enough in this game, but watch it again. Watch Lombardo fake left, roll right, or let's just change that around. Fake right, roll left, and finds his big tight end, number 88, Justin Stanko, and Stanko comes back. Not a bad receiver, 6'3", 220 pounds.
So here come the Dogs now with their first down of the game. And Lombardo again looking to throw back across the grain. He was looking for McCalla. And on the tip for the Tigers, Scott Tardoff, number 86.
Well, I'll tell you what, had he not tipped that ball, that very likely could have been interference. Because once the ball is tipped, you waive the interference. Watch this. Watch the quarterback Lombardo go back. We'll get a tip ball right about here. See the tip there? But, hey, that's just a good defensive play.
And that's a heck of a pass across your body by Lombardo. Rolling out to his right, stops and fires the other way.
A lot of traffic.
And he put some gas on it.
Threw that into a lot of traffic. Was fortunate it wasn't picked.
2nd down and 10. And Myernichak gets the call, a pickup of about 3.
You know, we often talk about the skill position players, but right there, the difference in the ball game, maybe it could be that play. We see the quick hitter, right? We see Clausen ended up 25, 30 yards downfield. Now we see Myernichak, who's a very capable runner, getting what?
4 yards.
I mean, you know, very
maybe
big difference.
5.
That's a major difference, though. I mean, you know, 20 and 5. you know, Clausen's doing it too, but, you know, not just Clausen. How about the line? I mean, the line for Hand is controlling the line of scrimmage.
And, you know, we talk about sending a message to the defense. You're sending a message to the offense. This pass complete again to Dustin Stanko, number 88. And he's outside the 15 to the 16-yard line of the Tigers, and here come the Dogs.
And let's see if we can get that one back. I'll tell you why. The dive fake makes that play, okay? Watch the dive fake here. We fake the dive, and what happens is the linebackers bite on the fake, and now they're right at the line of scrimmage, so the pass is wide open, and you've got an easy first.
Lombardo, a little skip and a jump there. He's pretty pumped up. 1st and 10 from the 16. On the draw play, McCalla gets the call, and he is very close to the 10, maybe the 11-yard line, before he's brought down.
Was that Enrique McCalla?
Yes, number 46.
Well, McCalla runs a little straight up right there. He can get hurt if he's in a situation like that, but he's just grinding for the extra yards, trying to pick up that critical first down carry. Second and, what do we got? Second and call it a long 5?
That would appear to be the situation. By the way, credit Brian Risley, number 54, with the tackle, a linebacker. And the clock's going just a minute, 35 seconds to go in this first half. And don't you know, Bunnell would love to put a score on the board. We've got a Bunnell timeout as Bob Mastroni comes on the field to talk things over. And we'll be right back. Again, it's Hand 18. Bunnell looking for his first score.
Delicious hot Speedy Pizza, delivered faster than a speeding bullet, more tasty than anything you've ever had before, and able to satisfy your pizza craving with a single slice. Speedy Man begins with fresh pizza dough, covers it in rich tomato sauce, adds fresh toppings, tangy spices, and mozzarella cheese, then delivers it free, hot and speedy from his oven to your door. So when you're overcome with that pizza craving, call Speedy Man.
Second down and 5, Bulldogs. The ball just outside the 10, call it the 11. The big pitch to McCalla as he sweeps the right side, gets across the 10 to maybe the 9-yard line before he is drilled. And let's check it. Was it McCalla on the carry? Yes, it was.
I don't want to know who made this hit. I think McCalla should have taken the outside route because when he came inside, he ran into some pursuit. Watch this. Now, if McCalla goes outside here instead of inside, he doesn't run into big number 30, Jason Fernstrom, who really plants him. 5'8", 151 pounds. And, boy, for 5'8", 150 pounds, that man could hit.
It's going to set up 3rd down and 5, so no gain on the play. And again, Bob Mastroni calls timeout and goes out to talk to his Bulldogs.
Well, you want to hear a scary stat. You talk about statistics, and yeah, they mean something if you look at total yards. Before this drive for Bunnell, that is before this drive, they were being outgained 218 yards for Hand to just 18 for Bunnell. Now, this drive has picked up about 40 or 50 yards. It was set up with the kickoff return, which certainly helped things out.
Actually, the ball all the way to the 46-yard line, so about a 36-yard drive so far for Bunnell, but they're not complaining. They need to make something happen, and let's see if they can finish it off with 1 minute, 20 seconds to go. They're down 18 for the Tigers. McCalla, the man in motion. Lombardo still got it, looking for McCalla, and again, the ball tipped, and for the second time on this drive, it's Scott Tardoff, number 86, deflecting the pass.
Well, the bad news is that pass was broken up on 3rd down. The good news is this is 4-down territory. So Bunnell has one more crack at it. They need a long 5, maybe 6 here. Look for the same kind of play. Roll left, wide side of the field with an option to run. If quarterback Lombardo wants to turn it up, he's got a chance to pick up the first. This is a must-score situation. Bunnell cannot knock on the door here and get nothing.
Ball at the 10. They need to get to the 5 for a first down. Again, McCalla in motion. Last time they looked to throw to him, this is Lombardo. On the screenplay, right side to Meyer-Nietzsche. And looks like he's got the first down across the 5 to the 4. Let's see where they spot it.
Well, he must have the first down here. Bunnell really needs it here. They got it. Big first down right here for Bunnell. They put a score on the board right here, and they could contend second half. Remember now, keep in mind, Bunnell gets the ball to start the second half. Hand had the ball to start the game, right? Took it right down and scored. So if Bunnell scores here, it's going to probably end the first half, and they've got a chance to get the ball back start of the second
They've
half.
already used 2 timeouts on this drive, and the clock shows just 55 seconds. They can't get too fancy.
They got it.
And they get the touchdown. Looks like Meyer Nietzsche from the 5. And was, in fact, Lombardo on the keeper.
Exactly. What he did there is he faked the dive. He had the whole hand defense faked out, and he had a wide piece of real estate on the right side. That time, great ball faking by Lombardo, and here's a chance to kick an extra point and make it an 18-7 ball game. And if you're Coach Bob Mastroni, you go in at halftime 18-7 after what we've just seen, you're not that upset, even though you're not exactly
And
doing
really wanted that 2-point conversion 3 times. That may come back to be a factor. You just never know. Historically, these games go right down to the wire. We pointed it out time and again, and this one still might. The extra point drive from Baroni is perfect, and it's going to be 18-7 with 51 seconds to go first half.
Well, let's see the touchdown right here once again, and you're going to just see a tremendous fake done here by quarterback Lombardo. Watch the fake inside. He freezes everybody. The defensive end is just caught. What he's doing, the defensive end is collapsing down on the inside dive, and Lombardo takes a stroll for 6.
As usual, I bid on the fake to Meyer Nietzsche and thought he had gotten the touchdown.
I got news for you. You weren't alone. About 8 defenders for Hand did the same thing.
51 seconds to go first half. Dennis Buckman and Steve Christie on our Cablevision High School Football Game of the Week, and thanks to you for joining us. And this one not over by a long shot, as Bunnell has put his first points on the board late in the second quarter and threatening to make a game of it now.
Well, keep in mind again, to start the second half, Bunnell gets the ball back, and they're not in a must-throw situation. Now, for Bunnell, the key thing is getting that running game going. They have got to get the running game going. And for Hand, as much as you could say there's only 50 seconds to go in the first half, you know that Justin Spain and Mike Munt can get some yardage real quick.
They don't need much more than about 10 seconds to score from anywhere on the field, the way they play pass and catch.
Well, that's stretching a bit. They may, I tell you, they're going to use all 50 of it if they do, because, you know, this is...
I'm just saying on one play, and the amount of time it takes Munt to catch it and go is about all they need. They can bust one on any play.
They're scary, and even on kickoff return, you know they're scary.
So Baroni gets off the good kick. And it's taken at the 10-yard line by Ned Lynch. He's to the 20 and dropped right there. That touchdown firing up Bunnell on the tackle. Matt Damone, number 29, the 5'7", 170-pound senior.
Boy, Damone does a great job of getting downfield on coverage. You talk about not getting touched. I'm not so sure Damone got touched, but the ball carriers certainly did. Watch Ned Lynch get hit here by Damone. Boom! Right at you, right at him. He's down for the count. That makes it very difficult. That's a long way to go. See, Dan, 80 yards to go for a score makes you vulnerable to an interception, too. So you may not see anything real fancy here.
I don't think they'll throw it too long, but you never know with this Hand team. Justin Spain is looking long for Munt, and that pass is broken up at midfield and by John Baroni at the 50, and Baroni really just playing center field right now in that prevent defense.
Well, see, you like that matchup. Coach Philippone likes that matchup. Anytime you get Munt out there one-on-one with a defensive back, you like that matchup.
That pass just a little bit underthrown, and Munt really never had a chance to turn it on.
Well, what happens there also, if the defender bats the ball in the air, like he's trying to knock it down, it's easy to just get grabbed and go for the score. So you might see that a couple more times. The one-on-one coverage, you got to love it if you're Hand.
The clock stops with 23 seconds to go. And 2nd and 10 for the Tigers. They go back to the ground game with Chris Clausen. And he's to the 25-yard line. And the clock continues to tick down. 13 seconds, 12 and counting.
I'm surprised that they're not using a timeout right here. They're just going to let it run out, I guess. Oh, are they going to call a timeout?
No, it's still running.
Yeah, they're just...
And that's going to do it for this first half of play. The Hand Tigers scoring on their first 2 possessions, 3 of their first 4, jumping out to an 18-0 lead, but with 51 seconds left in the half, it was Bunnell getting on the board to cut it to 18-7 at the intermission. We'll be right back.
So if you're on a low cholesterol diet or a low-fat diet, you'll You'll just love what I'm going to do here today.
This Wednesday morning at 11:30 on Channel 12.
Made this in just 8 minutes.
See what cooking under pressure can do for you.
Chicken and drop it right into the bottom of the pan. And
Learn to cook fast, healthy dishes using the latest in pressure cookers.
just press on the top.
Wednesday morning at 11:30 on Channel 12. The Complete Kitchen of Darien, Greenwich, and Wilton present Pressure Cooking with Michael Lamb.
So bon appetit.
Yeah, I don't know where it comes from, as long as it keeps coming, right? How old are you? 15.
Levi's Jeans, available at Bob's Sports in New Canaan.
You know what, sweetheart? I am starving.
Well, let's call Speedy Man.
Danbury High is showing signs of greatness.
What's this? Speedy Man has just landed in the backfield.
Well, Jim, Speedy Man has won some tough battles in the past, but this time I think he bit off a little more pizza than he can chew.
Look at him go. I don't know how he does it.
Well, for starters, he uses 100% mozzarella cheese, fresh dough, and all natural ingredients.
Look at this. He's knocking the competition dead.
Touchdown, Speedy Man!
You've boxed it up, you've packed it up, you've piled it up. Now, what do you do with it? NRS has the solution. Containers for any size cleanup job, big, medium, or small. NRS knows cleanup jobs are no fun. When you're cleaning out the house, you're cleaning up the office, or for industrial cleanups. NRS can make that job easier. The next time you have a cleanup job, call NRS and have fun at our disposal.
The Hand Tigers from Madison leading this one 18-7 at the half, but late in that second quarter was Bunnell showing that it still had some life left and threatening to make a game of it before all is said and done. We're going to be right back to talk about the first half statistically and strategically with Steve Christie right after this brief timeout.
The Iditarod, you better bring some extra courage, a good team of dogs, and boots tough.
18-7 in favor of the visiting Tigers from Hand High in Madison. And really just a great night for a football game, Steve Christie. A great place to see one, too, here at Bunnell.
It's funny, Dennis. There's a little break here. I went down and I went to see the facilities, should I say, and how many people? There are a lot of people here. I mean, you're looking at maybe 2,500 to 3,000 people here. Good turnout for Athletic Director Dave Johnson. You know, they got to pay for these lights, so might as well get a little help from the fans, and I think they certainly have help. Now, as far as the vital statistics of the first half here, it's been all hands. That last score by the Bulldogs have given them some kind of incentive here for the second half. They may be able to come back. 10 first downs to 3. That's been a big advantage. I think the key stat right there is total yards. I mean, 227 to just 66 yards passing. Yeah, that speaks for itself. 136 to 29. 107 more yards passing for the Tigers. No turnovers. In the second half, we saw last week no turnovers in the first half. Second half, the teams came out, and first possession, there was a fumble. So look for some kind of turnover here. Passes a lot more for the Tigers. We'll be back for some more action here in the second half. Right now, it's Hand 18, Bunnell 7.
In 24 minutes of this high school football game, the Hand Tigers pretty much had everything their way outside that final 2 or 3 minutes of the first half when Bunnell finally started to make something happen and put its first points on the board. Coming up next week on our Cablevision High School Football Game of the Week, the Guilford Indians still in search of their first win of the season to take on the state's 4th-ranked Stratford Red Devils. And it's going to be tough for them to get a win against Walchuk Guys Club. We're going to have that for you Saturday, October 14th at 7:30 p.m. And again, Sunday, October 15th at 4 p.m. right here on Cablevision Channel 12 Sports. When we come back to start of the second half, it's Bunnell and Hand. Christie, in week 4 of our Cablevision high school football game of the week. And as we get ready for the start of the second half of play, let's quickly recap the scoring from the first 24 minutes. Hand getting on the board right away on its first possession. They marched the ball 75 yards. Finishing it off, Chris Clausen with a 5-yard run. The 2-point conversion pass was no good, and it stayed 6-0. Then at 11:52 of the second quarter, Hand scoring again on a 5-yard pass from Spain to Mike Munt. The run for the 2 failed again. It was a 54-yard drive. And when it was over, it was 12-0 in favor of the Tigers. Then, at the 4:20 mark of the first half, Spain with a 1-yard run to finish off a 69-yard drive. The big play on that one, a 38-yard pass completion from Spain to Munt that took it all the way down to the 5-yard line. Again, the 2-point conversion no good. It was 18-0. But Bunnell, with just 51 seconds to go in the first half, finished off a 49-yard drive of its own. A 5-yard run by quarterback Keith Lombardo. Good for 6 points. The kick was good, and that was our score at the intermission, 18-7. And as you mentioned, Steve Christie, Bunnell now gets the ball first to start the second half.
Well, they'll have to do something with it, and I bet you they're going to go back to their wishbone attack because they really need that to work a little bit.
On the return for Bunnell, Ben Kovalik, he had a big return to set up the touchdown drive this time. He gets it back to the 31-yard line. Not bad field position for the Bulldogs as they start this third quarter.
Boy, Kovalik does not go down easy, I'll tell you that much. Anytime he gets his hands on the ball, the young man is a little bit dangerous. He was nursing a bit of an ankle injury, had it heavily taped before the game, and there was some concern on how he would be, and I think that concern has been answered here with this second half kickoff return. And boy, that man can run.
So here comes Bunnell on 1st and 10 from its own 30-yard line. They go right back to the running game. They really would like to establish their wishbone offense. It got them to a 2-0 record so far this season, but today it's been virtually non-existent.
Well, see, you're not going against a Guilford defense here or a defense that really can't contend with you. You're going against a defense that limited Stratford to just 14 points, 2 scores.
The only loss on the Red Devils' ledger a year ago.
Okay, I'm talking about Hand this year.
Okay.
And it's a good point you make because I wanted to get to that point, so we got to it here. You know, last year, Stratford High was all league, winner of their league, winner of the state, and yet they were not town champions. Because no matter how you put it, Bunnell was the Stratford town champion.
No question about it.
And you know that the players who played in that team will remember that game.
Come Thanksgiving this year, you can bet Stratford's going to remember, too. That was Meyer Nichek on first down, picking up 2 yards. And again, the Dogs go to the running game and a pickup of 3 more. And it looked like it may have been Meyer Nichek again, and it was. He's across the 35 to the 36-yard line, so Lombardo may have to put it up top one more time.
Well, if the pattern holds correctly, he just may have to right here. 3rd and call at 5. And for Bunnell, the reason you're back to this wishbone offense is because it's great defense. You're taking time off the clock, and you're keeping that explosive, and I'm telling you, explosive Hand offense off the field.
John Baroni, number 86, and Justin Stanko, 88, have been Lombardo's targets so far when he has thrown. This time, he tries to keep it and is jacked up at the line of scrimmage and dropped right there for no gain. Leading the defensive surge, number 76, Alex Cushing, the 6'3", 185-pound senior defensive end, and Bunnell comes up empty on his first possession.
And I'll tell you a guy who's having a huge game for Daniel Hand High School, and that's Brian Risley, the middle linebacker, number 54. He has been all over it defensively.
Well, when you're going up against a wishbone team, you know you're going to see some work if you're a middle linebacker, and that's certainly been true for Risley. Baroni now to punt it away from his own 25. And check it. Again, punting is Seth Stowers. Baroni was the original punter, had some stuff going. And now Stowers has replaced him. That punt good to the 33-yard line of the Tigers. And no secret to what they're going to try to do again in this second half. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And in the first half, Spain to Munt was anything but broke.
And if you look at Clausen, he wasn't too shabby either. Right up the middle with that quick hitter. And what makes that play is the tremendous ball faking by the quarterback.
And what also makes that play is the great passing game that really loosens up that defense. Again, on first down, the first time today, they go to Munt, right side. on first down. He's still on his feet. He's got the first down out to midfield. Looks like he stepped out of bounds at the 43, but they're not gonna call it there. To the 49-yard line of Bunnell. And Steve, as I mentioned, in the first half, you pointed out that they did not throw on first down. That is the first time today that Spain has looked for Munt on the initial series.
And you can bet that Steve Filippone said the same thing at halftime. I so often say that the first play of the second half is so very telling because you've got all that time to figure out just what you're going to do. And that time they said, hey, we're using this play on second and third. It's working. Let's try it on first.
Well, they didn't waste much time getting a first down on first down. Spain again. To Munt again at the 40. And good for another Tiger first down. On the tackle, Jerry Sorensen, but a little too late.
Well, again, this is very simple, folks. This is a 10-yard out, and Munt is running that play with Justin Spain looking at him all the way. Watch it here, coming right at you. He just cuts it off, has the defensive back turn, and gets the big 9-yard pickup. Oh, they're measuring. What, they measure for first? They're going to...
It was very close. From our angle, it looked like he got it.
Well, they're going to take a measurement right here, and regardless, again, this is the situation where as a coach, you're not really losing hair over it if you're Steve Filippone because you don't really care whether you pick up the first down right here. If it's short, you got a free play, and it is short, and you really don't mind this right now because what you have is a free play. And when I say free play, what I mean is that it's a second down right now. You've got maybe an inch and a half to go for the first. With a passing attack like this is a great opportunity to run play action and throw a bomb.
Well, you can do that, or you can go to Keith Clausen, who's almost been automatic for 4 yards at a crack.
Yeah, right, but you can go to Clausen third down. I mean, I really don't like the call of Clausen right here. I like a play where you can, get back in the pocket. Yeah, you may be susceptible to a sack, but, they just haven't put any pressure on Spain. And here's a situation as a coach, I'm going long.
Justin Spain getting a lot of time to throw, mostly because he likes to roll out. Almost like a run-and-shoot approach to passing. He has not dropped back to pass, and that's a lineman's dream, a quarterback who doesn't need that much protection. Second down and inches from the eye, and they're going to go to Ned Lynch, the second back through, the tailback, gets to the 35. He needed about an inch. He got about 5 yards.
Well, I like that a lot better than the Clausen dive because the Clausen dive has already been established. There's a play right there that is yet to really be established, and that's Ned Lynch from his eye position. That is a tremendous call because now you've got a guy like Lynch who has to be in the minds of the Bunnell defense. Before they were looking Clausen and looking Munt. Now, when they need a first down, they go to Ned Lynch, and that just sets a lot of things up. I like the call. A little different, but it's productive.
One thing about Mike Munt is he covers a lot of territory running his pattern. He'll start out the left side and wind up catching a pass on the opposite side of the field. They're looking for Munt again. This time they go to the short receiver, John Reardon, and he's to the 15-yard line, and another Tiger first down before Bob DiLorenzo could make the stop.
Boy, that was a thing of beauty. What you saw right there is you saw Munt running it down and in. Spain looked him off. The linebacker dropped back with Munt. Watch him look Munt off, and watch Reardon come right across the middle underneath the linebacker, number 53 there for Bunnell, Bob DiLorenzo. And that, folks, is a tremendous offensive play. That's what you call using all your receivers and using all your options.
The Tigers threatening once again. They scored on their first possession of the first half, and they're on their way to doing it again here to start the second. On first down, they run it up the gut for about 2 yards. On the carry, Chris Clausen for the first time in the half.
Well, that's one of the first times this evening that they've really stopped that play. Clausen, the situation right there where he didn't get much at all. And if you're Bunnell, you're going to have to stop it. You have got to stop hand right here. You need a turnover. You need a big play defensively because you cannot afford a score right here.
Clausen got just a yard, second and a long 9. And they, again, send it right up the middle, this time with Peter Millard. And he gets about 5 yards, maybe 6, to set up a 3rd and 4.
Boy, again, that's just a nice quick hit, a nice counter right in the middle of the line. Looked like Millard had just taken a little drop step there and right up the middle for a nice gain.
Just under 7 minutes to go in the third quarter. The Ham Tigers lead the homestanding Bunnell Bulldogs 18-7. And they're definitely threatening to tack on 6 more here.
Got one-on-one coverage on the left side with Munn. Munn was out there as a receiver with one-on-one coverage. Again, just a quick hitter up the middle. Didn't quite get the first down, but, you know, Dennis, you cannot put that one-on-one coverage on Mike Munn. I mean, he is going to burn you.
Millard only able to pick up a yard. So 4th down now and 5, and it's almost automatic that they're going to look for Monk. You can pretty much take it to the bank. Now, Bunnell, should they successfully cover Monk, would have to also worry about John Reardon, number 80, who has caught a couple of passes today. Spain flares it out, getting the first down and paying for it. Looked like Derek Musser, number 26. Hard to tell from our angle. Whoever it was paid the price in spades, courtesy of Rich Six of the Bulldogs.
Boy, whoever it was has got to be congratulated. I mean, that was a tremendous play. Is that number 27? Number 27 for Hand.
Brian Wilmot, looked like 26 possibly. Derek Musser. Could have even been number 22, Ned Lynch. I only say it might have been Lynch because he came back to the huddle with his bells wrong and his helmet off.
He's going out at 22?
Ned Lynch.
Okay, what a tremendous reception by Ned Lynch. I mean, that ball was thrown behind him. So he didn't do the quarterback, Spain, did not do him any favors because the cornerback came out and just laid a serious hit on him. Again, one-on-one coverage, left flank.
Ball at the 3-yard line. First down, goal to go. And on the keeper, Spain gets it down close to the goal line, maybe the 1-yard line.
And that's a great play right there. What that is it's a quarterback sneak on first down. So Spain gets over the center, and again, the center for Hand, number 54, Brian Risley, he pats him or whatever and goes right up the middle, and he's got himself a big first down gain.
Tigers looking to go up 24-7 here. And again, it's Spain on the keeper. Touchdown, Tigers.
It's appropriate tonight, right? We could save some money, turn out the lights. I mean, the party's over.
Steve.
I mean, you know, quite appropriate here this evening because Hand did what they had to do here in the second half. Still 5.5 minutes to go in the third quarter, but Hand is having it all its own way.
They've got a 17-point lead, and again, they're determined to get that 2-point conversion if it kills them. They're looking for Munt, and that pass from Spain way over the head of Mike Munt, incomplete. And that's about the only thing that Hand hasn't been able to do today is convert on the 2-point try.
Well, there you see Spain. You saw the tail end, and that's all you need to see right there. Justin Spain over the top for the score. Again, great line surge led by, once again, Brian Risley, the center, 5'8", 162 pounds. And Risley is really controlling that offensive line. We're going to be talking about Spain and Munt and all that, but Brian Risley's going to have to get some recognition here, folks. He's having a tremendous game, both offensively and defensively.
5:21 to go. Third quarter. The Hand Tigers 24. Bunnell's Bulldogs struggling along with just 7 to show. Again, the Bulldogs came in at 2-0. Certainly in jeopardy of going to 2-1 in a hurry. Hand, meanwhile, with 1 extra game on the Dogs, came in at 2-1 and would appear to be on their way to win number 3 in 4 tries.
Another guy having a tremendous night defensively, Jason Fernstrom. I mean, he came into the game leading the team in tackles with 23, and you could bet he's added some big numbers to that.
What a luxury for Justin Spain. Again, he was a receiver last year, was called on to play quarterback this year for Hand, and to have a guy like Munter throw to, what a luxury in his first varsity season at quarterback. Mayor Nietzsche threatening to blow one off. Still on his feet to midfield. He may go all the way. Meyer Nisek is going to score, and just like that, the Dogs are back in it.
Late flag. We could have a clipping call, and that is a terrible, terrible block thrown right there by Bunnell. The runner was in the end zone when that flag was thrown. Oh, baby, you talk about taking 6 right off the scoreboard. That's what happened right there. Dave D'Angelo with the clipping call at the 15.
Well, that would be interesting if he was actually in the end zone.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. It's the clip, and it goes back. Unbelievable. I was just ready to say no flags as he's in the end zone, but a flag came very late. What a run back, though, by our man, Myronichek. I knew I'd get that one wrong. Myronichek with a tremendous run. Now watch here, top of the screen. See if we can catch it. Right here in the right corner of your screen. You're going to miss it, but the referee sure saw it. And, oh, that's just...
Myronichek, as you mentioned, was at the 1 yard line when the clip occurred. So a very costly penalty as it brings the ball all the way out to the 30 and erases what appeared to be a 90-yard kickoff return for a touchdown by Myronichek.
Let me just clarify that. Even if he was in the end zone, that comes back. So, you know, yeah, very, very, very costly.
What I'm driving at, though, Steve, is that it was unnecessary.
Oh, no doubt about it.
McCalla complete to the 18-yard line as Lombardo hits him in the numbers.
Well, if Bunnell can come back here and score, then they're not going to be really worried about that play right there. The only thing that you worry about is that it takes some time off the clock. Watch this quick out. Boom, Lombardo gets back. He sets, he throws, and he makes a nice throw. Nice reception, good play, stops the clock, goes out of bounds. Believe it or not, you got to think about the clock right here. Third quarter, because you got a team in hand that's not going to sit on a, they're not going to sit on a ball.
I don't think they know how.
No.
I'll tell you one thing about Lombardo I like is he does not throw like a wishbone quarterback. He throws with a lot of confidence, and he'll put some mustard on it.
Nice hit. This hand defense is tough.
McCalla to the 19, and that's it. May have even lost a half a yard.
Getting up to make that tackle looked like number 80 for hand. That's John Reardon. Reardon. Not a bad hit right there by Reardon.
Reardon with a couple of catches offensively, and he's got at least 4 or 5 tackles that we've called him for defensively. Second down and 9 for the Dogs. Can they bounce back from the called back kickoff return? Lombardo still got the football and overthrows his receiver in the end zone. He was looking for Justin Stanko, the junior end. And Stanko, not a bad target at 6'3", 221.
Not a bad target at all. Stanko runs nice patterns out there. That time Lombardo just couldn't quite connect with him. Had some rush there from the defensive line. Tell you one guy who's very upset right now, and that's number 27, Dave D'Angelo. He's on the sideline. He is very upset. He'd like to get back in there in its own.
4 minutes, 17 seconds to go, third quarter. The Dogs with the man in motion. Kovalich. And that play incomplete to Kovalich as he was buried by Reardon again.
Boy, Reardon, you could hear that hit up here in the booth. He just laid his shoulder pads and helmet right into the chest of the intended receiver, and there was nothing, nothing that receiver could have done.
Bunnell's got to go for it here. Now, whether it's the NFL, they're down 17. They need a three-pointer somewhere along the line to tie. They might even think about a field goal, but that's out of the question here. Certainly, considering the fact it would be about a 43-yarder. McCalla, the man in motion. Lombardo off the fakes, got it himself. Looking for the end zone. Complete to the 2-yard line, or was it incomplete? It was incomplete at the 5. Nice-looking play, but incomplete.
And a nice play by the defensive back. You talk about defensive backs recovering. That time the defensive back for hand, we could not get the number. Just too far away for us to get the number. But he made a tremendous play recovering on that play. Looked like the receiver was open. Got his hand in there. Stanko got his paw in there for the Tigers and broke it up.
No, Justin Stanko, the intended receiver.
Okay, well, he got broken up by a defensive back. I know that. But again, hand, very tough defensively.
So Bunnell has Myronichek blow off a 90-yard kickoff return and then loses it on a clip and then can't cash in from the 35-yard line. Or was it the 25-yard line, rather? Well, the Tigers got the ball again, and they're going to sit on it a little bit here.
They will. They will. You know, crossing up the middle, maybe Spain with a little run option play. Right now, if you're hand, you want the Bunnell team thinking about that last drive for a little bit. It's a mental game. You want them on the sideline thinking that they just did not capitalize on tremendous field position.
Pickup of 2 on first down. This time they pitch it wide. And the ball out to the 35-yard line. And it really is getting impossible to spot any kind of numbers on these jerseys at this point.
Well, on top of it, the jerseys are dirty.
That was Ned Lynch, as a matter of fact, as we watch him run back to the huddle. On the tackle, Mark Stewart, number 44 for Bunnell.
You know, this is a game that the coaching staff for Hand High will really like to keep for a while. I mean, they've done really a lot of things right.
Tigers like to run out of the eye. They got Munt wide out to the left. He may get a little bit of a breather at this particular point. His team up by 17, and the Tigers content to run the ball.
Oh, this is a big spot.
And they need a half a yard on fourth down. Most likely they'll just punt it away.
Oh, they'll definitely punt right here. There's no way they're going for this one. So,
well, they haven't played it by the book so far, and they're up by 17. I don't see what they'd have to gain by even taking the chance at this point.
You let a sleeping Bulldog lie right now. I mean, you know, you do not want to wake up this team, and the fourth down miss will wake them up.
It's going to be about a half a yard short. And if I'm not mistaken, Hand has only punted once, maybe twice, this entire ball game.
Well, make it twice right now because Justin Spain is coming out.
Even a fake punt try would be a surprise. Up by 17 with 2:45 to go in the third quarter.
You know, the one time they did punt, though, the snap was kind of high, and he just missed snapping it over the punter's head. So if you're Bunnell, you're certainly hoping for a bad snap.
John Reardon to punt it from his own 22-yard line. Zone 15, in fact, gets off a booming high punt. Nice-looking punt taken by Myernichek at the 42. And he is drilled at the other end of the field. Getting down in a hurry, Alex Cushing putting a crushing on Myernichek.
Boy, did he ever. I mean, you talk about getting a line on a guy. I mean, that's just what happened right there.
You know, the most surprising thing is Cushing, 6'3", 185, really got down there fast for a big kid.
He really did. And, you know, 6'3", 185 is not exactly heavy or fat. I mean, at 6'3", you got a long way to go to stretch that 185.
He looks huge with those shoulder pads.
Yeah, and a young man could fly.
Now Lombardo on first down. Complete. Very close to a first down. On the reception, Justin Stanko. And Stanko, evidently the favorite target, or was it Baroni, in fact, number 86?
That was Baroni. I'll tell you what you're looking at right here, folks. You're looking at the Hand offense in Bunnell uniforms. That's just Baroni going out, flaring out to the left side, and, you know, quarterback hitting him, Lombardo. So Bunnell has no choice. They got to throw.
First down play for them. And now it's first and 10 as McCalla goes off left tackle for 3 into Hand territory at the 47-yard line.
Brought down initially by number 74, John.
Well, that time, that might have been number 47. That might have been Kovalik. You know, he has a unique way of running, that Kovalik. He looks like a pretty good runner out there. Tiptoes his way through the line of scrimmage and seems to get some good yards every time he touches the ball. He's running tailback right now.
Kovalik, Myernichek, and McCalla. In fact, it is McCalla, the tailback. And Lombardo under pressure is going to keep it. Got some room. Very close to another first down for Bunnell. It's off the 40 to the 37-yard line.
What they're doing right now, you're right, Dennis. 41 is the tailback, McCalla. Kovalik is running as a flanker, just flanked out to the right. And he's coming for the counter, so he's being used as a counter play, too.
Earlier you mentioned that Bunnell was running the Hand offense, and if that's true, the Hand defense would have an advantage. They go up against Munt every day in practice. If anybody's prepared to handle his moves, it's their own team.
Well, they're running out of the I formation, so they have switched a little bit here.
Kovalik with a nice block to protect his quarterback, and that pass thrown slightly behind Stanko. He turned the wrong way and never had a chance. And now, again, it might have been Baroni, number 86, from this far away in this kind of lighting conditions. An 86 looks a lot like 88, and it was, in fact, Baroni, number 86.
Well, that time Baroni tried to make the adjustment, and had that ball been thrown just a little bit more to the right, we would have had a completion. You can't blame the receiver on that play. He's running a pattern, he breaks it off, and the ball is thrown behind him.
So second down and 10. Lombardo on the draw play. Kavalik, he's across the 25, the 20, to the 15-yard line. Ben Kavalik with a nice pickup and another first down. And this, by far, the most impressive Bunnell drive of this football game.
Boy, Kavalik is really a fine runner. That time, the delayed draw. He just did a great job of hiding behind the offensive lineman on that play, broke out into the right flat, and was able to get a big gain.
Chris Parcells making the tackle for the Tigers, but the Bulldogs, while they didn't score on that kickoff return or on the subsequent possession, looking to maybe do it in delayed fashion. Coming right back down the field again. Again, Lombardo to Baroni. And he may have picked up another first down. Very close to the goal line.
Well, he's inside the 5. Baroni again running a Mike Monk pattern. We'll call it that tonight because Munn has owned that pattern. That time Baroni running it. And again, the key to that play is Lombardo getting the ball out there. That time the junior quarterback did just that. Nice throw. You know, Lombardo has good size, 5'11", 170 pounds. You look at this Bunnell team, and they're kind of inexperienced. They're kind of young, which is great if you're Bunnell because you're going to have a pretty good class coming back next year. We've already mentioned Lombardo, a junior. Kavalik also just a junior.
The ball well within the 5. It's at about 3 inches outside the goal line. When we come back, we'll see if the Bulldogs can finish.
The spirit of team is being on top of the world in complete control. It's between you and the mountain. Catch the spirit with the new SX92 Achieve. World's most advanced ski boot.
Bob Sports, the store with everything for the dedicated athlete.
There you see the injured Bob Baroni after catching the pass from Lombardo and taking it down to the 1-yard line. He's having to come off the field with a little bit of assistance from one of the trainers, but he is walking off under his own power, and that's encouraging.
Well, Baroni was responsible for having him down this close to the goal line. That's the case of Baroni just trying his hardest to get into the end zone.
And he's had 2 big catches to keep this drive alive for the Bulldogs.
Well, right now for the Bulldogs, a good bet would be Mayor Nichek. I mean, you could be seeing that big guy get into the end zone right here. The senior fullback. They're probably going to run out of the wishbone set here and just give the dive right to Mayor Nichek.
Nichek had 119 yards and 2 touchdowns in week 1. And right there, Bunnell unable to get the ball into the end zone.
Well, there he had a good shot of it. We just had a camera right on the goal line there, which had a real nice shot of where that ball was. If we can get that back again, well, it's going to be into the quarter, so.
That's going to do it. Through 3 quarters of play, it's Hand 24, Bunnell 7. But the Bulldogs are threatening goals to go from the 1. We'll be right back.
You know what, sweetheart? I am starving.
Well, let's call Speedy Man.
Danbury High is showing signs of greatness.
What's this? Speedy Man has just landed in the backfield.
Well, Jim, Speedy Man has won some tough battles in the past, but this time I think he bit off a little more pizza than he can chew.
Look at him go. I don't know how he does it.
Well, for starters, he uses 100% mozzarella cheese, fresh dough, and all natural ingredients.
Look at this. He's knocking the competition dead. Touchdown, Speedy Man!
Metro Mobile, we have a sophisticated lead tracking system. Initially, we tracked Cablevision's response. The response that we got from Cablevision was surprising.
We use Cablevision in a big way because it's an efficient marketing tool. We reach the right audience, both demographically and geographically, at low cost.
Astrology cannot be used to manipulate other people. Astrology should be used to improve yourself. Never to look at the negative side of your sign or your aspects or your planets, but to look at the positive sides, to reach for something that's better.
Watch Off the Wall Astrology live with Barbara Wall, Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday from 6:30 to 7 p.m. on Cablevision Channel 12.
Well, on first down, Meyer Nichek picked up a couple of inches, but the ball still inside the 1-yard line on second down. Some movement. And a couple of Tigers may have encroached, but were they drawn off sides? If it's against Bunnell, that would be almost catastrophic at this point of the game.
Yeah, that's encroachment. What it's going to do is going to move the ball to about the half-yard line, so you're not gaining much on that. See, that's not really the time to change your cadence and try to draw an offsides. It really isn't. You're only picking up the length of a football. If you're going to change your cadence and get hand, you might as well get him when you get the full 5. But anyhow...
Well, you got a little bit closer, Steve, and you didn't use any time on the clock.
Yeah, it doesn't do anything for me.
Still 12 minutes to go in this ball game. And touchdown, Bunnell. They're back within 24-13. Might have been Meyer Nietzschek with the touchdown.
It was. Big fullback John Meyer Nietzschek with the score. 6'1", 185 pounds. He needed all of it that time to get in. As Bunnell, once again, it's pay dirt.
If they go for 2, Steve, and could add a field goal
you
and a touchdown, they'd win it.
Go for 1. Right here, it's a 1-point call, I would think.
They're down 11. Baroni to attempt the extra point. And every point counts now. Fake play. Lombardo, the holder, looking in the end zone. And it's complete, but a flag on the play after the catch.
Well, if that's the case, you're looking at some kind of interference, either offensive interference is what you might see.
It looks like it might go against hand, though. Let's see. They're going to sort this one out. We were screened on the play. Most likely it was Baroni on the catch, but it may come back.
It was an illegal man downfield is what it was, and that's going to happen when you fake an extra point. You're going to get a guy who's really not used to getting out there, and he gets beyond the line of scrimmage. That's also a loss of down, so you're going to...
Again, I'm just guessing it was Baroni who caught it, but it's elementary at this point since it's going to come back. And for the time being, it stays 24-13.
Right.
So a procedural penalty cost the Bunnell Bulldogs 2, maybe just temporarily. They're going to try it again, you got to figure.
Yeah,
or do you go for 1 here now?
I don't know. I tell you what, I'm sick and tired of wondering who goes for 1 or 2, because in a situation like this, 2-8 will get you 21, and that's not much, better than a 14, but who knows? Right now, you put a point, you get 2 and it pumps the team up, so they might be going for 2, and they are.
And the Bulldogs showing us something. They're not going to let Hand run away with this thing. Every time it looks like the Tigers are on the verge of blowing it open, they get them right back, and that pass play for 2, incomplete, as Lombardo was looking for Baroni, and that time the 2-point try fails.
I'll tell you what, that's a tremendous play right there, but if Lombardo waits 1 more second, Bunnell's got 15.
We'll be right back. Our score, Hand 24, Bunnell 13.
You've boxed it up, you've packed it up, you've piled it up. Now, what do you do with it? NRS has the solution. Containers for any size cleanup job, big, medium, or small. NRS knows cleanup jobs are no fun. When you're cleaning out the house, you're cleaning up the office, or for industrial cleanups. NRS can make that job easier. The next time you have a cleanup job, call NRS and have fun at our disposal.
Well, here you see the touchdown. That's just Meyer Nietzschek right up the middle, following his big left guard.
Somewhere underneath all those bodies, right?
That's right. And, I talked about that penalty maybe being useless, but I think he made it by about a football.
I don't think anytime you get any kind of real estate that deep in the red zone, you want it.
Well, what I say to that, and I would still stay with that, is that if you're going to change your cadence and draw them off sides, at least get the full 5.
Onside kick stride did not go 10 yards. It was recovered by Bunnell, but it was touched before it went 10 yards. The official is going to let it stand, and it's Bunnell's ball.
Good call, Dennis. Right there, they pulled a rock. Because if we could see this again, I think we will clearly see that a Bunnell player had hit that ball before
at about 8 yards.
That's right. Or maybe it might have been that the Hand player touched it before the Bunnell player. I don't know. You had a good look at that.
From my vantage point, and it was right in front of us, it definitely appeared like one of the up people for Bunnell touched that ball. Didn't control it, however. It bounced off a Tiger and was recovered by Bunnell. We have no idea who covered it, but whoever it was came up with maybe the play of the ball game so far. That'll only be decided after this possession, perhaps. Lombardo to Kovalik. And Kovalik rips off 7 yards. And you know, these Bunnell fans know something about this game that we've been saying all along. When Hand and Bunnell go head-to-head, nobody leaves early, no matter what the score is.
You should have never said turn out the lights.
I didn't say it, buddy. On the tackle, Brian Risley, number 54, for the Tigers. But very important there that Bunnell was able to pick up 7 yards on first down on the ground right up the middle.
And has Kovalik been a nice little surprise here? I mean, he's running very hard.
Wide out to the left side, Brian Heffernan for the Dogs, but they're not going to need him as they're just grinding it up. Another 8-yard pickup straight up the middle.
Meyer Nietzschek that time, the big fullback blasting out of his fullback position, and he is hurt, I believe.
He is down. 2 Bunnell players down, as a matter of fact, on that play. Maybe 3. 2 of them are up. One of them was number 88, Justin Stanko. The other one was Lombardo, and the third one who's still down, I believe, is Meyer Nietzschek.
And that is not a good sign because Meyer Nietzschek is really the heart and soul of this offense.
Set to come into the game for the Bulldogs, Matt Damone, number 29, one of the tri-captains, or co-captains, rather.
Tell you what, Damone put a hit on special teams that'll live with the guy he hit for a while. I mean, the guy is tough. He's flat out tough.
We've got ourselves a football game all of a sudden. It started out like a blowout.
Well, Meyer Nietzschek, at least he's running off the field under his own power, and that's got to make Coach Bob Mastroni breathe just a little bit easier right now. Bunnell is showing some real heart right here.
This is a Bob Mastroni football team, and it really shouldn't surprise us at all. And frankly, I'm not surprised at all. I knew this team would not quit.
Well, what happens in games like this is you learn some things about your team. You learn that you can pass a little bit.
First and 10 from the 35-yard line of Hand. Lombardo complete to Baroni at the 25.
I mean, you know, next time that Bunnell plays, they're going to say to themselves, hey, we want to hit Mr. Baroni. We will do it anytime we want. Watch this. Just a nice out pass. Baroni gets between the 2 defenders and pulls it down. John Baroni having not a bad game, a little overshadowed by Munt, but he's holding his own.
And a very interesting thing here, Munt is playing defensively and is getting a lot of work. He may be getting tired out playing both ways here, and would make him less effective. Lombardo on the keeper to the 20.
Boy, this shows me everything.
But you know what I'm saying, Steve, about Munt? He's making a lot of tackles, chasing a lot of receivers around the field, and that could weigh him down and make him that much less effective as a receiver when they get the ball back.
Well, this is big right here. I mean, Bunnell is really doing it all right here. Now, they've just taken over this segment of the game.
Another first down for the Bulldogs. They're at the Tiger 20-yard line. Baroni wide out to the left. And Lombardo's looking his way, clutches, fires deep. Baroni's open and just barely overthrown, but an interference call against the Tigers coming up at the 2-yard line.
Well, in high school rules, they go from the line of scrimmage. So had it been pros, it would have been down there. But, I mean, that's a break. They need that break right there.
Baroni did an excellent job of getting himself free. If the pass was there, it was 6.
Well, let's see right here. Here you see it. Oh, right on it, camera, right on it. That's a penalty right there. Ned Lynch all over Baroni, and the Bunnell Bulldogs trying to take a bite out of the Tigers right here. Well, they had it.
Lots of time to go as Meyer Nietzschek checks back in to replace Matt Damone. That's another big play for Bunnell, as they'll need that guy this deep in the Tiger zone. Lots of time, 9:55 to go. The Dogs chasing 11 to the Tigers, but they've got the ball deep in the Tiger end. Looks like it's at the 10-yard line right now as the officials talk things over about that interference call against Ned Lynch.
Well, again, what they do is they go from the line of scrimmage, which was the 21. They're going to bring it down to about the 10. So you go, 10 yards, half the distance on that play, you're down to the 10-yard line. So it's first to goal at about the 10.
Actually, Bunnell can pick up a first down inside the 1-yard line. Meyer Nietzschek on first down gets about 5 yards.
That's a big first down carry right there. The only problem right now, if you're Bunnell, the clock is becoming a problem right now. You're getting down to about 9 minutes to go in the game. And remember, you have to give the ball back to Hand, who you haven't stopped yet. So So keep that in mind. I mean, Bunnell has a long, long way to go here.
I might run at Munt a lot in this situation.
Well, I think right now Bunnell's just going to, run it up the gut, and the play that Baroni has really worked.
Kovalik in the backfield. Gets the give from Lombardo to the 2-yard line. Was it Kovalik? Let's check. May have been Meyer-Nietzsche. Hard to tell. Bottom line, though, is the ball is just outside the 2-yard line. Call it the 3.
See, again, for Bunnell, you're going to make a comeback here. You're going to make things happen. You want to get in on that play right there. You want to get in because the clock's still running. 8:50 to go here in the ball game. Bunnell going to call a timeout. Hey, good call. There was some confusion. This is a good timeout. No chances for a mistake right now. You can ill afford any kind of problems on the offensive end.
We're going to take a timeout. 8:49 to go. The Dogs down 11, but threatening.
NRS, I need a solution.
Just a fax, ma'am.
I know NRS has more trucks in more places than any other company.
That's right, ma'am.
And you have radio dispatch trucks to give same-day service.
Uh-huh.
And you've been in business long enough to know which container is right for which job. And your motto is just a drop in the bucket.
Well, yes.
Also, NRS has cleanup containers for everyone's needs. Small or large jobs or very large for whatever.
Yes.
I need a container today, now.
Only if you tell me one thing.
What? What?
Your address, ma'am. NRS. We have the solution.
Credit John Meyer-Nietzsche on that last carry for the Bulldogs. He got it to the 4-yard line, and it's going to set up 3rd down and about 3. Again, Bunnell can get a first down just outside the goal line. Well, wouldn't that be nice to have 4 cracks at it from about a half a yard away?
Well, again, reiterating the fact that if you're Bunnell, yeah, that's nice, but you want to score now. I mean, you cannot waste any more time. Remember, you got to stop Hand, and Hand has not been stopped all night. So you've got to score it now.
Lombardo, your quarterback, inside give to Meyer-Nietzsche, spins around, maybe bought himself a yard, and that's all. In there, Mike Munt to make a good defensive stop. That time Munt just got down real low and took on Meyer-Nietzsche head-to-head.
Well, you may see Bunnell use the strong side of the field right here. I could see a situation where Lombardo rolls right with a pass option, and he may try to run it in.
Brian Heffernan into the game. As Baroni comes out, that would lead you to believe they're looking to run here. And it's Meyer-Nietzsche off tackle right side, and he is stopped shy of the goal line on 4th down, and more importantly, stopped shy of the first down by the Hand Tigers.
Well, it comes down, isn't it interesting? I mean, here's Bunnell, who in the first half could not gain a first down or run the ball. Now they're down in the 4th quarter. They need a yard, and they can't get it. That, folks, tells you who's controlling the line of scrimmage. The Hand Tigers certainly did that time. Oh, we're going to see it again. Watch it right here. Meyer-Nietzsche just stopped and stuffed at the goal line. Hand getting tremendous penetration.
And there's a classic example, and you hear coaches say it all the time, you've got to get lower than the other guy. And Hand just got lower. A flag on first down as the Tigers have to start deep in their own end at their own 1-yard line. And if Bunnell ever wanted to make a defensive stand, it's right now.
Well, Bunnell, right now you're going to have a procedure penalty against Hand, so they're going to push him back even. I tell you what, you
run out of the end zone sometimes. I thought you were getting to that. That's one of your favorite calls.
No. You decline this penalty right here if you're Bunnell. They only gained a yard or so, and right now the clock is a problem for you. So you make this a 2nd down play.
You really have nothing to gain by pushing them back.
Not at all. And you're going to just have them eat up another play offensively.
Half a yard gain, as you mentioned, Steve. It's going to be 2nd and a long 9.
Tell you what.
I'll tell you one also, they're not afraid to throw to Munt in this position. I really don't think they are.
Now, look for Clausen with the quick hit.
Deep in their own end, they keep it on the ground and get nothing out of it with Clausen.
Oh, they did. I tell you what, then. It looks like they may have got nothing, but they got about 2 or...
Not even 2.
Oh, they're down. That's 5 yards. They got
2 yards.
Yeah, at least.
2 yards on the play.
I mean, he got that guy could get out of that backfield in a hurry.
So now, 3rd down and 7, maybe 8.
Now, here's the decision time. Do you throw? Go on, Coach.
I would.
Hey, with the success they've had, I might too.
If I had Month to throw to, I wouldn't mind at all. They're not going to, though. They keep it on the ground. A loss of 2 yards. And the Bulldogs stand to be in some pretty good field position, and in good condition when they get this punt.
Also, keep in mind that Hand will use the whole end zone in punting right here. So there is no margin for error. And also, Bunnell's come pretty close to blocking a couple of punts, and yet this snapper is snapping it hard. This is not an easy snap. He's snapping it hard.
And Reardon with his right foot just on the back of the goal.
Oh, nice punt.
Myronechek at his own 40, breaks the tackle. He's to the 35, runs into his blocker, and gets to the 30-yard line. On the stop, Jason Bernstrom for the Tigers, but the Bulldogs now, 1st and 10 from the Tiger 30.
Oh, they're going to, I tell you what, you're going to go back to that 4th down stop of Myronechek when this game's over. Because 6:20 to go in the ball game. Bunnell, again, must score in this possession right here, but Myronechek stopped at the 2 or 3 or 1.5, 2 yard line. We'll come back to haunt them.
They need 11 points, but they're going to need to get 6 here first. Lombardo keeps it, gets rid of it, and has it picked off by Reardon at the 20-yard line. And Reardon back to the 25 before he's dropped. And that may have put the final nail in the Bulldog coffin.
I'm not saying anything.
Lombardo was in trouble, may have forced that pass. Whereas the NFL, it might have been the in the grass call.
Oh, I don't. Well, and again, we've seen some crazy calls in the NFL, haven't we?
There is a flag on the play way back at the 24-yard line.
Maybe
on the far side of the field. Could have been on the return after the interception.
Maybe post-possession.
It is against Hand, but they will keep the football, and that's what they're most concerned about at this point. Leading by 11 with 6:02 to go.
Exactly. Right now, Hand's very happy in the position that they are in right now. This is going to be a 1st and 10, so on top of that, that penalty does not get tacked onto their 1st down. So still, they're only faced with a 1st and 10. And
the ball at the 14-yard line, and Hand wants to have good hands right now. The one thing that could really hurt them, and maybe the only thing, would be turning the ball over, coughing it up on a fumble.
And that, by the way, was the first turnover we've had all game long. I mean, how many times do you wait till 6 minutes to go in the game to have your first turnover?
It's been a pretty clean game. Only 2 penalties in the first half. Only 3 here in the second half. Coming up next week on our Cablevision High School Football Game of the Week, the Guilford Indians traveling to Penders Field in Stratford to take on the Stratford Red Devils in Week 5. And that should be a tough one for the Guilford Indians. Stratford ranked number 4 in the state. And once again, Walt Checkeye has got himself a juggernaut over there at Stratford High School. Bergeron, their quarterback, has been unconscious so far this year. Something like 12 touchdown passes in just 3 weeks.
Yeah, tremendous. I mean, here's a guy who lost all his big stars, right? Lofton, Eller, a lot of the other tough players there. And he's doing it all by his, well, not by his lonesome. He's got some good players out there. We'll get a chance firsthand to see them next week. And I'll tell you this much, Guilford has their work cut out for him. I mean, this could be a Stratford human highlight film.
Of course, that game, as always, will be on next Saturday night at 7:30. And again, the following Sunday at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, right here on Channel 12. The Tigers now on 1st down, looking to run it out and run out the clock at the same time. That one across the 15 to the 16-yard line. And on the carry, Peter Millard, number 36.
I'll tell you this much about Coach Bob Mastrone's team. They did not quit. I mean, they came back and made a game out of it. This was just a lot of heart displayed by this Bunnell team. They really came out, and they had their chances in the second half. A kickoff return nullified, 4th and 1 unable to make. They came back hard.
On 2nd down, again, Bunnell able to answer this time and stop the run after just a yard pickup. On the carry, it was Chris Clausen, number 34.
Well, you know, going into this season here, Coach Filippone wanted to do a few things. He wanted to beat Foreign. He hasn't played Foreign yet. He wanted to beat Bunnell here at Bunnell. He's done that. And he wants to beat Stratford. He just missed doing that. So he's got himself a pretty fine team here. And you'll be hearing from Coach Steve Filippone and his team in the next couple of years.
And on 3rd and 6, Spain completes to Monk, very close to a first down.
Incomplete.
And they call it incomplete. Looked like he had it.
Well, I'm resigned to just watching the officials. I mean, it's become, you know, as you mentioned, pretty hard to see over here. I'm just resigned to watching the officials and watching their call. And that's right there. Official crossing his arms, waving it, incomplete. Going to have to punt it away. That does a couple of things. That stops the clock. Gives Bunnell just another slight chance here.
Well, the Bulldogs have shown us all night long that they can come back. They're down 11, 4:41 to go. They're going to get it back. Myron-Echeck way back at midfield. Reardon's kick bounces at the 43. And it's still loose at the 45-yard line and covered there.
Well, they're going to put it down to about the 42 and 43. It was first touched there. Where it is touched is where they get it. So 43-yard line. Again, great field position. We've seen this fourth quarter really dominated by Bunnell. And, Dennis, that's got to be a concern to Coach Steve Filippone.
They've dominated the quarter, but only have 6 points to show for it.
Right, but Steve Filippone cannot be pleased with the fourth quarter performance here of his team. Granted, they had their backs against the wall there with their drives, but Coach Bob Mastrone's team has had the best of it here in the fourth quarter.
So 1st and 10 Bulldogs at the 42-yard line of the Tigers. Down to their last chance. Kovalik, the man in motion. Lombardo fakes the draw, still on his feet, looking to throw, and overthrows number 47, Vin Kovalik, and that ball was possibly tipped by Mike Munt, number 87 of the Tigers. Very little question at this particular point about the player of the game. There you see the young junior quarterback, Keith Lombardo. What do you do here, Steve?
Throw. Look for Baroni.
And a deep drop back to midfield. Lombardo over the middle, complete to the 37-yard line.
They got Reardon that time. No, sorry.
Might have been Myron-Echeck out of the backfield, number 30.
Well, yeah, it was 30. Okay.
Was Myron-Echeck on the catch.
Looking for number 80. Again, uniform's tough to pick up, but again, just a back circling out of the backfield and just cutting it up the middle. And quarterback Lombardo sees him. You know, Hand's going to give him that play. So if Bunnell wants to march down the field right now, they can do that every time, but they got to strike a little bit quicker.
Pick up off 6. It's 3rd and 4. And Lombardo with the rollout left side, looking downfield, and it's picked off again at the 8-yard line. Looks like Reardon to the 20, to the 21, and a flag after the play. Mike Munt may have made the interception. Let's see. Looked like Reardon. Either way, Hand has taken the ball back again.
Well, you're going to see a play right here where Lombardo just rolls left and throws the ball into the hands of Reardon. Not a bad idea. You got one-on-one coverage here in the secondary, but watch Reardon help. See, watch Reardon just step in front there and get the ball. You're going to come back along the left side here. It was a clip a little bit behind him, and the ball is coming back. Referees all over the downfield blocks for both teams. I mean, these refs are getting a lot of field vision here.
And Mike Munn, in fact, on the interception, as you saw there. And what really must be making Steve Filippone crazy is that 2 times on interceptions, Hand has partially kept Bunnell alive by taking the 15-yard clipping penalty afterwards on the return. And should they fumble again, Bunnell would have the ball inside the 10-yard line. So the Tigers not making things any easier for themselves. On first down, they run it out with Chris Clausen for pickup of 3.
You sure that was Munn who got that?
Absolutely. You can see it on the replay clearly, number 87.
Okay. Well, Munt, you were going to say earlier that there's really no question.
And there really is no question.
That makes it kind of for sure.
He's had big tackles, interceptions, and of course he's caught 1 or 2 passes offensively. Spain just going to hand the ball off, kill some more clock as the time ticks down to 2:35 in this ball game.
About 1, 3/3, about 7.
Call third and a long 7 coming up for the Tigers. Bunnell not stopping the clock yet with 2:22 to go and counting.
Well, right now, Hand is just going to go at a snail's pace and try to just grind out the clock. And
Are you surprised Bunnell did not call timeout on third down here?
No, not really. I think that you still, well, after this play, if they don't make it, you got to call timeout. Well,
Spain looking for Munt, overthrows him at the 25-yard line. Check at the 20. And that's going to bring up fourth down with 2 minutes, 4 seconds to go.
See, with a team like Bunnell, the reason you may not call a timeout there is that they are going to run the ball somewhere along the line here on this next series, this next drive. Well, they may. I mean, they may either get sacked or they may run around the corner and try, or they may run a short pattern.
The reason I say that is because on their last series, with a far more time, they threw all 3 times. So Reardon's going to punt it away.
And you got a roughing a kicker.
And Meyer Nietzschek at his own 40, make it the 50-yard line, fumbles and recovers it himself. Well, way back, as you mentioned, Steve, we could have a roughing the kicker penalty against that guy,
Justin Stanko. And you can't really blame Justin Stanko for that. They're looking for the pump block right there. No doubt about it. They're looking for that pump block. Tell you what you got to do, and I don't know who's centering for Hand right here. We got to pick that up. He is just really rocketing that ball back on those punt.
Should be Greg Williams, number 56. He is normally their long snapper.
Well, we're going to get a shot of this roughing the kicker, and it's very clear that this was roughing the kicker. Watch this. See Stanko coming right up his gut, and yeah, that was a definite roughing the kicker penalty.
And that's one of those plays where you're told to just go in there and block the kick.
That's right.
And if it works, it works. If it doesn't, well,
you tried.
You went for it. 1 minute, 54 seconds to go, fourth quarter. We're at Bunnell Bulldog Field in Stratford. And the home team Dogs threatened to make a dogfight out of it.
They did.
And they had their opportunities. Just could not cash in.